Stop that. Who remembers where we got up to last time?
Crazy punch cultists.
Yeah,
Precipice of darkness and terror,
indeed.
in danger of being consumed.
That's no way
As
to talk
is
about your new
every day in
buddies.
life.
They're your new punch buddies.
Dark whispers speak sweet nothings into our ears.
Well, yours specifically.
Guide us away from the shining light of Sigma.
Indeed, they do. And yes, you have uncovered at least one. You've uncovered at least one, shall we say, source of corruption within the Ubersreich Watch. Whether there's more, you don't know. And you don't know how far this reaches either. You don't know if this is something that's wholly contained to Ubersreich. You don't know if this is something that extends up to the nobility of Ubersreich beyond that one man that you've seen. You don't know if this even goes all the way to Altdorf. So far, you have uncovered what may be the tip of a very significant iceberg, or it may just be something on the side.
More to the point, we don't have proof of anything beyond this, so if it does, we want to establish that.
Indeed.
We didn't actually do anything illegal or heretical at that place.
Yes.
We just some weird shit.
Just highly suspicious.
Pretty much.
To be fair to a witch hunter, it's highly suspicious is worth burning too.
Always.
That is also true.
True, but a witch hunter didn't witness it. I mean, honestly, you never know with the Imperial Justice. Maybe we can get them, burned regardless. But the bigger problem is we don't have any actual hard evidence against them. But also more to the point, we definitely don't have any evidence or any knowledge of what goes beyond them. We just have suspicions.
Also fair.
So we need to confirm, who in the Albersreich, Altdorf and Ubersreich nobility, is involved. Who's above the ones we know?
Indeed.
How far does this go? I mean, we could try to just confirm the existing people and then arrest them and torture them, but that has its own major set of risks.
We shall see who's part of this fighting punch club. Oh, sorry.
Well, if we start mass arresting people, then those who we do not know about will get wise of it and escape.
Indeed. It is a very significant risk. But you have decided, if I recall correctly, at the end of last session. Well, actually, no, you did decide to reveal what you knew of this to Lady Nacht, who has taken your report and is equally concerned about the issues that you have brought to light, and who has cautioned you, obviously, that if this is further spread, you don't want to tip your hand too soon and let those who are higher up the chain just cut their losses and run. So you've been given your lead to continue gathering evidence, continue trying to infiltrate this group and trying to find out what you can. And once you have something more concrete and possibly more evidence of those above, to bring it back to her for further action. You also, well, I say you, Lorelei and Talcon also decided to go to the Tin Spur and see if they could get Lorelei in on the roster as a fighter. And everything seemed to be grand and seemed to be going quite well. Until the Tin Spur's prize fighter decided that he didn't want Lorelei around, so he was going to kick off until she got rejected from the fights. Your dreams of being an MMA champion are no longer with you, Lorelei. You've been
I was about to
cast
say,
out.
brief correction, we were trying to get me in as a singer and then a fighter.
Well, true, but ultimately we knew you were going to end up fighting.
Well, yeah, but Time to sing first. I've got a talent that I can't use in many situations.
That is true. That is true. And yes, that it would seem that the hand that holds the purse at the tin spur would rather lose your favor and lose the chance to have you as an artiste on their books, rather than upset their prize pet at the moment. So that's the state of affairs as things are. You've had a little bit more, a couple more days of rest and respite. Any blows or bruises that you took while specifically that Erwin and Aldemar took while they were participating in the fight club have had a chance to heal up a bit, and you're feeling pretty good, feeling pretty well rested as you go back into your normal routine of patrolling in the nights. Basically checked in by Sergeant Rudy at the beginning of the night, checked out at the end, with any reports that you have to make given to him as you go about your business. And it would seem that things are still relatively quiet on the streets of Ubersreich at the moment. Once again, you've got your usual sort of rash of muggings and standover crimes and petty thefts and things like that. But for the moment, it seems that the streets of Ubersreich are relatively settled and there's not much happening. You haven't been invited back to any further fighting circles yet, and you haven't been told you haven't been told of any particular things that you need to look out for. You're just given your patrol routes down along the docks over the Ubersreich Bridge. But you're still not given patrol routes up through the hill. You have not been given the chance to hobnob with your betters. You are still down amongst the dregs.
Yay, dregs!
Yay! And you come off yet another. Well, it's hard to say it's pointless. You come off yet another quiet and almost boring patrol, making your way back to the barracks. When
no duty to the state is ever pointless.
Hard disagree.
Doubt.
Yes, but you don't really pay obeisance to the state, Lorelei.
Just saying.
Yeah, so you're heading back to the barracks to get yourselves to hand in your nightly report and to basically check yourselves out and head back to wherever you're choosing to stay at the moment. When a very young boy dressed in tattered rags and with bare feet and the look of the urchin about him comes hurrying up to you and sort of waves you down as the first rays of the sun are peeking over the horizon. Excuse me, Mrs.
Oh look, it's another Wen.
Almar, did you pick
Your
up another
business.
one?
This one is even more pathetic than Wen, if you can believe it. He looks.
I can't.
Well, he's scuffed and he's skinny and he's looking all sorts of bedraggled.
What is it, urchin?
Are you the watchmans who helped with the fire and the fights and all that?
Are we?
Yes.
Yeah, we put
Yes,
up the fire
we
and we
are.
stopped those fights.
Yes,
Yes.
we set the fire and wait, what?
Yes. Yes.
How do
We
you know
are.
we've only started the one fight?
My dad's missing, and I can't find him. And Ma says he should be home, and he's been gone for nearly a whole week, and he's missing. And could you help find him?
Who's me da?
Is it a dog? Sounds like a dog.
His
His
father.
dad,
Father.
probably.
Yes.
Oh, me dad.
Me da.
Mida.
My dad.
Mida. Where was your dad that when he went where was he supposed to be a week ago?
He were home. We'd had a dinner, and Ma sent me to bed, and he and Ma were talking, and then he said he had to go out for a pissin', and he didn't come back.
Who is your father to raise you in such a condition?
He looks confused at you, Aldemar.
Ermina is going to give Aldemar a very stern look and then just say, not everybody can live even modestly. Aldemar.
And there are orphans.
Mm-hmm.
Just said he's talking about my dad, my mother, my house, my home.
I said,
dinner, all that. So
yeah.
that's why the question.
That's why Ermina said not everybody can live even a modest life. It's, they're poor.
He looks he looks rather confused and nods, and me dad, Reikland Pechvogel. He he's just a river picker, sir.
One step up from a beggar, but still not really our concern.
But he's missing, and he shouldn't be missing.
Just gonna roll intuition real quick.
Sure thing. It's a +20, but you got a 1 anyway.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so he is absolutely 1000% telling the truth.
He's
His
concerned.
dad is missing, and he's heard that you're the people who help the people of Ubersreich.
And he's concerned about his dad missing.
Mm-hmm.
With everything that's going on.
I guess
Because
Gold says his dad was skinned.
A week ago was a week after the more sleep thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the time that's passed, it was well after the Morsley night, so it's
Oh,
But-
so he disappeared after the whole skinning people thing happened.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, yes. But that doesn't put it out of the realm of possibility with how the sewers in Ubersreich are that something didn't come out of them, and he's a river picker, and they live probably close to the river in a kind of slummy house.
Yep.
In a bad part of the neighborhood. Anything could have happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you this much for free. Those of you who are from Ubersreich, and in fact, most of you should know this by now, being that you've patrolled it often enough, know that beneath the bridge, basically on the main stanchion in the middle of the river, and to the west side of the river, there is a shanty town that's risen up called Dunkelfeucht.
Lorelai knows nothing.
And that's where a lot of basically the absolutely destitute live.
Taka will nudge Aldemar. Come on, Aldemar, think about it. You want to integrate yourself with the good people of Ubersreich as a part of Sigmar.
Right. Well, of course, Talcan.
Could you help me find him?
Armina's gonna be looking at Aldemar.
I know. I doubt your father ever paid a single bit of taxes in his life.
What's taxes, sir?
The citizens pay. Good citizens pay to
Hard to pay
upkeep the
from
state that you
zero.
benefit from.
It's hard to pay taxes when
Precisely.
you have no money and you make
Precisely.
a living trying to feed your family.
Precisely.
Do we
He
get to
always...
select who we serve, or do we not serve all citizens of the Empire?
At the mention of paying, he perks up a little bit. He always puts a coin in the basket at the Temple of Sigmar every week.
Oh,
Realize
well,
it.
then we totally shouldn't help him, right, Aldemar?
This changes things.
All right.
Yeah, that changes things for Aldemar. Oh, he pays his tithes as much as he can. Let's go save him.
All right.
Lorelai is unimpressed.
All right. Leo. I cannot command the rest of you to do it because you are paid. You are paid by the taxpayers of the great empire to protect their lives and their interests, and it would be improper to request that you devote your time and your paid time and resources to someone who is not a contributing member of the state, but as someone who pays his due tithes and respects Sigmar to the fullest extent of his ability. I am, even despite his own desperate circumstances, I cannot in conscience not do everything possible to assist this man.
Armina's going to sigh and pat the little boy on the head and nod in the direction of the shantytown. Show us where your dad last was.
Thank you. And he'll go trotting off and kind of pause and look and see who's following to come back, and then lead you all through to the shantytown. So you generally don't patrol Dunkelfeucht itself. You'll sort of skirt the edges of it and go around the edge of the bridge. Partly for one part is because half of it is in the middle of the river, and you've literally got to go across a basically rickety set of rope and plank bridges to get across to it. And the other part is too that, as Aldemar has pointed out, as callously as it sounds,
They don't
these
pay
people
taxes.
do not pay taxes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some of them do, but obviously what they pay is a pittance, and when there are actually paying citizens of Ubersreich and merchants and burghers and lords to look after, these people tend to get left behind and forgotten.
Pretty much. While being entirely callous and speaking from a religious perspective of Sigmar as the god of the imperial state, and just the callousness of the times. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter that they don't choose to be peasants, all that. We are paid by the people who pay taxes to look after their stuff. If we're, by that logical extension, should be spending our time protecting, merchants, shopkeepers, lords, and dealing with any of their problems, even if they are relatively more minor compared to a missing person, as opposed to spending our time and resources chasing after a missing, as he said, one step up from a beggar.
Conversely, it's not like we're voluntarily working for the Watch. We got press ganged into it.
True, but that doesn't matter.
Exactly. Still in service to the imperial state.
Yeah. But anyway, the young boy does lead you through the Dunkelfeucht, and you do attract some measure of attention coming through through this area as you are. From your manner of dress alone, even if you weren't armed and armored as watchmen, you would most definitely stand out here. But as a group of armed people moving through this area, there are more than a few people who, despite your good reputation amongst the people of Ubersreich, still are closing doors and drawing shutters and drawing their children inside as you pass.
Because we're big, scary people that have weapons.
Mhm.
Yeah. Aldemar is also doubly prejudiced against these sorts of people because of their, both their tendency towards criminality, which is a sin against the state, and the fact that these are the sort of people who generally worship Renald instead of Sigmar.
Indeed, it is quite noteworthy that the boy's father actually does pay a tithe to the Temple of Sigmar. But yeah, so you'll make your way through, and he leads you through what is essentially a warren of shanties and huts and lean-tos and tiny little alleyways, and eventually he'll bring you to what is little more than a shed. It's made from planks of wood. It's barely got any shingles for the roof. In fact, one whole section of the roof is just made of waxed cloth that's held down with nails and rocks. And he opens the door and basically gestures you into this single room dwelling that has a bed in one corner, a table and 2 chairs, and a fire in a basically in a half a barrel in one corner. And the woman inside, who is trying her best to scrub some clothes in what looks like brackish water from the river, looks up and looks around and, Hugon, what have you done? These watchmen's, they're the watchmen's that help with the fire at the butcher's, and they're gonna help find Pa. And she looks to you and, I'm terribly sorry, but thank you for coming. Is he telling the truth? Are you going to help find Reikland?
Remarkably enough, yes. Tell us what you know.
Thank you.
Yes.
I don't know much. All I know is we'd had our supper that night. It was about a week ago. We'd had our supper, and I'd put Jürgen down to bed, and we were sitting by the fire and talking as we do. And Riker needed to relieve himself, so he went. He said he was going down to the river, and he would be back in a short while. And I dozed off by the fire, and when I woke, he wasn't back, and I haven't seen him since.
Do you have any enemies? Anyone who might wish to hurt him?
No, he was an honest and loyal man. We mostly kept to ourselves. He would go to the riverbanks, to the east side of the river, and not many people go over there. And he would go and he would pick what he could from the flotsam floating down river and bring it back and sort it. And what metal there was, he would sell to the scrapmongers, and we would use that to buy our food and pay our tithe. He didn't gamble, and he rarely drank.
Sigmar smiles upon such humble displays of virtue. Now, had he been acting unusual lately? Did he get involved? Did he have any new friends or get involved with any new groups?
Not that I know of. Not that he told me.
Was he spending any extra and unusual time away from family?
She stops to think for a bit. No, I don't believe so. river picking is dependent on the tide, so the times that he was out will vary depending on how high the moon is, but he didn't seem to be gone for any untoward amount of time.
How was your relationship with him? Do you have any fights? Any arguments?
No more than occasionally we would be fractious, but he was a good man. We didn't yell or he never raised a hand to me.
Hmm. You hear anything about any unusual people in the area? Any other unusual events?
She thinks for a few minutes and Goodwife Castle, her husband, Jurgen Castle,
Hmm?
he went missing a month ago, but he was a drunk and he'd been fished out of the river so many times. Everybody just assumed he'd fallen in again and hadn't been caught this time, but no body's ever been found.
Well, I've gone through all the obvious routes. I could grill her more on things just to be sure. I'm not sure if that's necessary or not.
Perhaps
I
we
could-
should roll intuition to determine if she is
Yeah,
hiding
yeah.
something.
Yeah, let's roll intuition to see if there's more to be gained out from it. Because I'm like I could grill her. I'm like, were you seeing someone? Was your husband seeing someone? But I don't think that'd be kind of a dick move if we've got no suspicions to go on.
Yeah, rolling intuition is probably a good step.
Passed by one.
Oh, seems honest to me.
Is anybody else going with their intuition?
Oh, yep. Sorry.
Oh, it's one of those days, is it?
You mean every other week?
Yeah.
It's one of those days.
Is intuition
Yay.
I or int? Because
I always forget.
It's
yeah,
I.
Skill.
because
It's a
I.
basic skill.
Based on initiative.
Okay, yeah.
Intuition is based on initiative.
Okie dokie.
I am the only one.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, I know.
I did those.
So-
Erwin
So
matched.
Owen got a base pass. So yeah, Owen, all of you are going to believe her. Owen, you are going to believe her as well. She seems to be very honest to you. Talcon, you're going to believe her, but realize something in that her, I'll say, daily life is probably spent out, or sorry, not spent out, it's probably spent mostly in and around this little section of the shanty town, basically looking after her son, cleaning their clothes, trying to keep it as tidy as possible. She has no idea what her husband does, where he goes, and who he talks to when he leaves.
Ah, yeah, that's
So
definitely.
everything she's saying about not knowing if he's, him not having any new friends or strange people or anything like that is based on what he's told her. But she is honest when she says he doesn't seem to be behaving any differently.
Will he, Talcon note this too?
Taka will nudge Aldemar, yes.
What is it, Lee?
She's being honest but This is her home, you know. She doesn't exactly go out much, do you?
And she shakes her head. I'm here. I look after my son, and occasionally I will look after some of the other children in the area for those who don't have both parents.
So, have you ever went out with your husband before?
No,
And that's basically what he's trying to get across to Almar.
Hmm. Your husband have any friends that you're aware of? Anyone he ever worked with, went picking with, went drinking with, would invite over on holidays?
he would he grew up with a man by the name of Bruno Schultz. They sometimes, when he had a very good week and we had more coin, once he'd bought our food and paid our tithe, if he had a coin over, he would go and get a drink with Bruno on occasion.
Hmm.
And I guess there were a few who would go picking in similar areas. Sometimes he would come home and say that things weren't great because others were around, but there was never any fights between them. It was always whoever gets there first gets the best pickings. It's known.
When's the last time you saw Goodman Bruno Schultz?
He came by about 2 days ago to ask if I'd seen, or to ask if my husband was ill because he hadn't seen him.
Where can we find him?
If you go down by the water, there's a very small, well, we call it an inn, but it's not so grand as the inns. But it's where the men mostly drink.
And did she, I remember what she said, and like from an in-character standpoint, did she give us enough information where her husband went picking that we'd be able to identify, or do we need to ask her for a more clarified location?
She just said that he went on the east side of the river.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was asking. Basically,
Yeah.
is that specific enough? Or
It's really not, because there's no shanty town built on the east side of the river, but there is a vast stretch of docks and areas over there that aren't used at the moment because they were severely damaged in some storms a few years back. And given that most of the marketplaces are on the west side, things have just remained built up over there. The east side is just kind of left as it is. If people want to get over to that side, they come on the west side and go over the bridge.
do you happen to know more specifically where your husband liked to go picking?
And she shakes her head. Anywhere up or down, he would just go out and spend the whole day up and down the riverbank. It would really vary depending on the tides and the flow of the river.
Expected. Does anyone have anything else? Thank you very much for your time. We'll be back when we can. Sigmar bless and keep you.
Sigmar bless you too, all of you. Thank you. And she'll gather her son close up to her. No, she'll shove her son at you. Take this. No.
Take this. You have one.
It's not safe
Take
to
it.
go alone. Take this.
It's
Take
dangerous
this.
to go alone.
Take
But no,
this
she'll
when
gather her son up to
2.0.
her and just kind of hug him to her.
Perhaps just ask for a brief description of what husband actually looks like.
Other than Mada.
Yeah, and she'll tell you that he's a little shorter than average, dark hair that's graying at the temples, quite slender. Tends to wear a very old and patched green jacket. It's his lucky jacket that he would wear when he went out.
Lucky jacket. Okay.
And so yes, when you leave her little hut, and people have started to realize that you're not just here to kick heads and arrest people for the crimes of vagrancy and being poor. They don't come up to you, but they start sort of relaxing a little bit more and going about about their business. So you do notice that most of them still maintain a rather healthy,
Fear.
space around you, trying not to get in your way.
So do we gonna go look for this Bruno Schultz or?
Yeah,
That is my thinking.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, do you want to go and speak to him directly first? Do you want to try and ask around in the area to see if anybody saw him on the night that he left? What are you thinking of doing?
I feel like Bruno Schultz is our best lead, so.
Yep. Okay.
Since he actually pays attention to the guy on an average basis.
There's since indeed, we don't know exactly really where. We don't really know exactly where the father was when he went. We don't know really what he was doing. I think Bruno Schultz might get us a better information on that. Unless we're assuming someone just straight up kidnapped him the moment he walked out the door, which.
I'm assuming he probably disappeared down by the river, but.
More likely. But then again, here's the thing. He could be involved in something entirely different his wife doesn't know about. We don't know. That's why I'd rather.
Then does she fight?
Maybe. That's why I'd like to talk to. I think we should talk to Bruno first, because if he'll be able to point us at least, and he's more likely to point us in the right general direction as to where he might have been kidnapped, and who might have done it.
Sorry, just give me a second.
My current working theory, based purely on narrative expectations, is that corrupt nobles involved with the Slaneshi cult are luring in beggars with, promises of bread and coins for either, to murder them, essentially.
Or rats did it.
No, that's possible. I kind of forgot about the Skaven. But I'm saying, maybe, there's a fucking Skaven warren nearby and they're killing, people who find out about them, but that seems semi-random.
Well, we actually do know they're here. They had signals.
Yeah, we did see signs in the sewers, but they were old.
But no, I know we know they're in Ubersreich. We saw them in Ubersreich before the campaign started. I'm just talking about murdering a couple random nobodies.
Well, they may have saw them.
Though.
They may have saw them on their walks or something.
I'm aware of all that it could be. That's why I said it could be.
Yeah.
It still seems random and arbitrary from a narrative standpoint. There's no, as I say, narrative standpoint. Logically, realistically, we were real detectives. Literally anything could happen. But logically, realistically, the most likely thing that happened is the dude tripped and fell and hit his head in a ditch. Or got mugged by some random asshole. There is... But we know, narratively, that's almost certainly not the case. That would be a massive waste of our time. Hence why, likewise, I believe the Skaven theory to be less likely because there's no dramatic intentionality to it. It's entirely circumstantial.
Indeed. Okay. So yeah, you make your way out and you head down towards the river as she directed you. And you, again, those of you who are familiar with Uberstrike will know that obviously in the shanties they have not got any of those sophisticated things such as kitchens or plumbing. So most people who need to make any attempt to use the bathroom will go down and do so by the river, which means it kind of stinks down this way.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll find your way through. I will get you to please roll for me a gossip test to find out if you can actually find the drinking area of the drinking place that they went to. Hey!
No.
Where did my thing go?
Swings and roundabouts.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, you ask around a bit, and Erwin seems to strike up a chord with some of the workers or some of the itinerants going about their business, and nobody wants to talk to the halfling.
Nobody wants to talk to the apothecary either.
Yeah, Erwin strikes up a chord with some people, and you're gradually directed down to, as was mentioned, what could only by the greatest sense of charity be called an inn. It's almost like a porch attached to the side of a building, where there's a few scavenged chairs and benches struck together out of random chunks of wood, and what look to be some very, 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 very cheap barrels of ale at the back, where all manner of items, including but not limited to some small coins, small pieces of metal, and other random bits and bobs, are being handed over in exchange for a series of rather grotty looking wooden tankards to be dipped into these hacked open barrels and then handed over, dripping to their consumers. And you will see a man, well, you see many men sitting there and just drinking and talking and throwing some dice and looking sullenly at you as you make your way through. And the man behind the bar stares at you as you approach.
Should probably ask for a description of Bruno or something.
We're looking for Bruno Schultz. Do you know him?
Alton may have been using his keyboard. There was noise coming through your headphones just before.
I was muted.
Okay.
We are looking for Bruno Schultz. We're also looking for the inn.
You found the inn.
God, that's Talcott being a dick.
Talking wasn't sure or not.
You found the inn. What's the watch want with Bruno?
We just want to ask him a few questions.
Bruno doesn't know nothing.
One of his friends. Do we want to tell him? I'm not sure.
No, we're not going to tell him. Be that
All right.
Be that as it may, that is ultimately for us to decide. If we can't talk with Bruno, we can have a chat with you. I don't think either of us want that. That won't be productive for anybody.
This guy is probably Bruno.
We're not here to cause problems for Bruno.
I will get you to roll either intimidate or cool on this one. Depends if you're trying to threaten him or if you're just trying to convince him that you don't mean Bruno any harm. Oh, nice. All right, so yeah, the barman will glare narrowly at you, but your words seem to have the ring of truth about them. Do you have any of your iconography of Sigma on you when you're in your watch getup?
If I'm allowed to wear any, sure, to the full extent possible. If what was it? Any paraphernalia that I'm allowed to display, sure. Obviously, I can't really wear my robes anymore, but
Near. No, but you would be allowed to wear like a medallion around your neck or something along those lines.
Mhm.
So yeah, he'll look at you and then he'll look at the medallion that you bear, and then kind of lift his chin, gesturing to a man who, as you turn and look, you realize was trying to sidle out of the inn.
In gigantic air quotes, in.
Indeed. And just a sort of a ruddy-faced, ginger-haired man who pauses as he's looked at and looks back at all of you.
Hi there.
Hello? Can I
would
help
you
you?
be? You be good man, Bruno Schultz?
I am. Can I help? What can I help you with?
Do you happen to know another citizen of the area named Reikland Peckvogel?
I do. He's an old friend of mine.
Tell us a bit more
He's-
about him.
He's not in trouble, is he?
We don't know. He might be.
Well, you tell me.
We're trying. If he is, we're trying to help him.
He's a good man, right? He ain't done nothing wrong.
So we've heard. So I've heard him.
He's a good bloke. He just it's hard down here, you know, and he's been doing hard trying to do right by his missus and the wee one, and he just suddenly up and gone. His missus said about a week ago, and that's not like him. He loves that boy.
I see. What have things been like with you and him lately? What have you been up to?
Same as always. I've been able to get some work hauling cargo for some of the merchants. Every so often when the big ships come in, I get that. He's still picking on the river. He little fella, not really strong enough to haul the cargo, but he picks and he finds what he can, and he makes sure that the boy's fed, and his missus has got what she can, and we maybe once every 2-3 weeks manage to scrape some coin together and have a drink and talk about old times.
Hey, what did you talk about during when you got together?
The same old things, being kids. He talks about his kid a lot, and we talk about when we were kids, and he looks up at the bridge overhead and, you know, doing doing dumb shit like climbing the bridge or going up into the markets to try and and I mean, not that we ever like stole nothing or nothing, but like in the markets when they throw out like the rotten fruit and stuff, and sometimes it's not all rotten, and you take a bit.
Hmm. So, sounds like that within his means he was quite a risk taker and quite honor bound. Not many people in his financial position would stick together with their family, or, so I'm told, devote regularly to the temple.
And he nods quite emphatically at that. Yeah, his ma raised him to always give thanks to Sigmar. She didn't talk about it much, but we reckon that she had something to do with the temple at some point. She was real strong on you gotta pray and pay your tithe.
Hmm.
And I guess he just kind of grew up with that.
That is all Sigmar asks in return for the protection of his mighty strength. Now then, it sounds like his kid meant a lot to him. He'd willing, he'd do, like he'd do a great deal for him.
Yeah.
And yet his kids, I mean, to grow up in such difficult circumstances, that must have been hard on him.
Yeah. He said that he wished that he could do more. He tried to get jobs on the boats, but as I said, he was a little fella. He didn't get fed right when he was growing up, and he wasn't too big, and he had a bit of a bandy leg, and it was hard for him to like lift heavy things, and it wasn't easy to get. It's not easy to get money, but he did what he could.
Okay. You been acting any strange at all lately? You make any new friends or get involved in any new groups? Encounter any new opportunities?
Nothing that he told me of. I mean, if anything big had happened, he would have said. He would have, especially if it was something that meant he could have got his kid out of this shithole. He would have said, but no, he didn't. I don't know who he hung around with on the regular. As I said, we only really caught up every couple weeks. I don't I don't think he would have I don't think he would have joined one of the gangs or nothing. He was a good man. He's a good man.
You seem like a man with the ear on the local pulse. Anything else strange been happening lately? Any unusual people been sighted around here?
Oh, I mean, the place is full of unusual people, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Um, nah, I mean, oh, s- about the usual. No strange people. Just the usual kind of this and that, and those. There was just down by the docks a ways, just, and he points off down the river to where you know that some of the market docks are. There was this a boat captain went missing. Want to say about the same time he did, actually. Maybe a few days before. If his missus is right, and he was missing about a week ago, I want to say it was a couple days before that. Boat captain just up and disappeared. Crew said that he was on his boat in the night, like at sundown, and then the next morning just gone.
Hmm. Boat captain, you said?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know his name. I overheard when I was unloading at the dock next to him. They were talking to the day watch.
Hmm. I don't suppose you caught the
I think I got
name of the boat. I suppose you caught the name of the boat.
name of the boat. What was it? Oh, what was she? I think it was. I think it was the Pegasus.
Hmm.
Down from Altdorf. Looked a bit fancy. It was
From Altdorf, you say?
yeah, carrying something. She was a bit, the timbers weren't quite so old, and she looked like she was a new boat.
Hmm. Do you know where? Don't suppose you happen to know the key, any key spots where Riker like to go picking?
Um, Up and down the East Bank, really. Wherever if the tide's high, under the bridge is good. When it's a bit lower, you got to go a bit further towards the city gates. So it'd really depend where the moon was, and well, it wouldn't depend on who else was picking at the time. It was always, you get there, you stake your spot, and if someone's in your spot, well, you got to find somewhere else.
What's the tide week ago?
For about the time that he was talking about that this guy went missing, it was a low tide.
Would have been closer to the city gates than.
If he was picking at the time,
Okay.
which, as mentioned, his son said and his wife said that he went out in the night to go for a piss on the river. So
Yes.
Oh, if it was low tide, then he would have gone further away since the river would have been low.
That is also true. Yes.
Indeed. This is all assuming that his story was accurate, which turns out it actually might have been. I was operating the assumption the story was a cover.
For 3 people have been gone missing.
A boat
So-
captain. Recently,
People- Yeah, people being abducted or killed by someone or something.
Indeed, all along the river.
And the story presents itself slightly differently. If it were just beggars getting disappeared, it'd be one thing, but the captain of a ship from Altdorf?
Indeed, unusual. Can't think of anything more to ask that has any likelihood of knowing.
Maybe intuition again. Maybe he's hiding something or something's not important. You think that this?
Nah, he's cool.
Aldemar believes everything he's told. Okay, so yeah, you are going to definitely you're going to definitely get the feeling that he's telling the truth. And then especially when he talks about how Riker loves his son, and would do anything for the boy and wouldn't abandon the boy. That is definitely where he kind of doubles down on the truth. Like, some of it's conjecture, like not knowing whether he had any other friends or anything like that, but he loves his kid.
All the circumstantial evidence lines up with my noble kidnapping theory, but I don't see how the boat captain figures into this. and we are desperately short on useful leads to the actual Reikland case.
Well, I mean,
So something he shouldn't, or knew something he shouldn't, so they disappeared him too for loose ends.
It's possible, yes.
there's the other disappearance that was about a month prior.
Correct. We can investigate that. I hadn't prioritized it because it was a drunk and it was a month ago. So that's two different elements that will make it very hard to effectively investigate.
Other than to, go see the wife and see what the circumstances of when he did he just go, I'm gonna go to the river and go take a piss and disappear the same way that our guy did?
Fair point. We could at least establish that.
You could also be looking at like a serial killer who first killed, someone a month ago and then started stepping things up, recently.
No, I mean, yes and no. I mean,
it's
possible.
not impossible, but
again,
it'd be a step up to kill a river captain, and then a step back down to kill.
Yeah, not just kill a river captain. Kill a river captain on his own ship.
Well, if the target was the river captain, the river picker might have seen or heard something, was caught up in it.
But then the guy from a month ago is unexplained, is unconnected.
You could also try basically just doing some gossip checks and see if you can get any more information about the last few weeks in general to see if any other strange things have occurred.
That was going to be my next suggestion. That we start asking take some hours. We start asking random people about if they saw anything about with Reikland. Has anything strange been happening? Any unusual people been coming to the area?
Tell me your secrets. No.
Let's ask around.
Poor Talcum.
All right, yeah. So you'll leave Bruno, and go around and start basically just checking around and chatting with people and seeing what you can find out. And a lot of people are not happy to really chat much with the watchman in their midst, though Amina seems to make some headway.
Tell me the truth, you rat-hole worshipping degenerates.
That's no way to talk to people.
So
it is when I roll a 93.
Okay, that was great. 1 out of 7.
Excellent. All right.
People
like Armina. They don't give a shit about the rest of us.
Because she's talking with people. She's probably offering to check it, like any cuts or scrapes or anything like that, to get them to open up.
Yep.
And feel more comfortable, even though she's apothecary, not healer. But semantics.
Yeah, I took that for a second as you trying to open up their cuts and scrapes.
No, she's not opening up. She's not cutting them.
That's my job.
Okay. Yeah, so you'll sort of ask around a bit and chat with people or try to chat with people, and most of you will just get very sort of tight-lipped responses, and I don't know nothing, and people hurrying about their business and things like that. Theobald does make a little bit of headway as well, in that he does have a few people who sort of stop and mention that while they don't know Reikland specifically, there has been a few people complain, like there's been a bit of chat around the area about people going missing, and as Amina is chatting with people and getting more information out of them too, it gradually starts to emerge that over the last 2 to 3 months, a significant number, like more than usual, significant number of people have just disappeared. not just men. There's some women and children have been reported missing too. And all of them are reported to have just disappeared in the night. Just went out to go and piss in the river, didn't come back. Was meant to be coming home from whatever tiny pittance of a job they could find, never showed up. Someone went to sleep, woke up the next morning, and their wife was missing. And sort of all from little areas dotted up and down the west side of the river.
It's very consistent sort of thievery. People stealing, kidnapping.
Some of my theories
stealing.
starting to sound more accurate.
Okay, so we have several people gone missing.
Would it with all the little reports and stuff, can I make like a small, like, it doesn't have to be a very accurate, but a rough map with locations of where the people are missing from?
Yeah, before you do, I will just say, have you all been accounting for the +10 that you get from the people of Ubersreich for?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Then
I mean, I
Theobald should
showed
have
by
passed
50, it wouldn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Theobald would have passed. Lorelei would have passed.
Yep.
I would not have passed, regardless.
So yeah, I will say with that, given that more of you did pass, taking that into account, it's not just the really poor people who have been reported missing as well. One of the people that Lorelei speaks to eventually says to her that he overheard the Day Watch talking about some of their members had gone missing. 2 watchmen have actually gone missing in the last 6 weeks.
And we haven't heard anything about it because we're just
You're not Day Watch.
we're just people. We're part of the watch, but we're just people. We don't need to know the day-to-day stuff.
Well, that's it. You're part of the watch, but the ins and outs of who exactly is in the watch, where they are, whether they've, gone missing or whether they've just left the watch or timed out of their service or whatever is not your business. And yeah, two members of the Day Watch going missing is probably already being looked into, but by someone else.
Mm.
But yeah, and you do hear that there are some people talking about a merchant who went missing as well. And a few, there's been an increase in dock work available because some of the dock workers have gone missing.
So it seems very consistent that there's a lot of kidnapping.
Mhm.
Which means it's something we could do.
Mhm. I would like you all, while you're doing all of this gossiping and checking around and chatting and everything like that, to please roll perception for me.
If I could get over to my skills and talents.
Huzzah, I succeeded.
Nope.
Oh, Perception is my middle name. Holy shit, huh?
It actually
Perception
was.
is your middle name, Aldemar.
It actually was this time.
Okie dokie.
Thank you, Sigmar. It's the best perception roll I'll ever make. I hope it's worth it.
All right, so as the day moves on and you're as I said, you've been questioning people and asking around, and as you're moving up and down, especially near to the bridge, you find yourselves noticing that there's a group of men and women who you keep seeing faces cropping up quite regularly, And Aldemar is going to realize that you have been being followed now for quite a significant amount of time.
Lovely.
They have a health bar. Beat them up.
You know what they say. If they have a slow health bar, I can drop a meteor on them.
It is true. You could.
Or, yeah. Talkie Man could talk to him.
Indeed. Or I could turn around and go and confront them. Which I think is what Aldemar would do upon discovered he's followed. Well, I don't think he'd be quite that impulsive. He'd probably first share it with everyone. Everyone,
That's fair.
I want you to look at me because we are talking about what is going on, what we've all discovered, and what various people have told us. And I'm just relaying some information and theories about that. So I hope you're all looking at me right now and don't look anywhere else because nothing interesting is happening, but we are being followed.
I'm nodding, agreeing with your theories.
Indeed.
What? Where?
Ermina's just gonna point at her parchment and say, well, it'd be nice if someone would, she's gonna be looking from the parchment to Aldemar, as if she's, like, talking about the map that she's drawn. And me saying, well, are they in front of us, behind us? Well, in terms of you, behind, in front of you, to the side.
I assume they've just been following behind us, or have they been using some more sophisticated tailing system?
They've been a bit more sophisticated. They're not just behind you. You've seen them on occasion sort of poking out from alleys to your side. They obviously know this area very well. So if you're going in one direction, they are quite able to get around you and go in a different direction.
Where are they right now?
Right now, they are actually behind you. They're kind of in a side alley, more or less under the shadow of the bridge.
Right now, they're a short ways behind us. But they've been tailing us all day.
Should ask what their business is in the most polite manner possible.
No,
After we
she-
beat them to senseless.
Ermina's just gonna nod and, like, fold up her parchment and put it back in her, little sling bag and...
That's what I'm inclined to agree. Let's
If we just start walking towards them, they run, then we have probable cause.
to chase
agreed.
them.
Oh yes, but we should try to keep on talking to each other and looking like we've got nothing to do, so that ideally they'll try to maintain their cover by holding still while we approach them, thinking we'll just go past. And it will be easier for us to catch and confront them, while giving them minimal means to run away.
So does this mean I can say you're going the wrong direction and I had a map the whole time?
Yeah, that does seem like what you're saying. Sorry, I don't know this area very well.
Okay, so are you starting to move towards them?
Yeah, I presume we're going to turn around and head back the way we came.
Not a problem. Okay, so yeah, they are watching you, and you see it now as you head towards them, even though you're making a show of talking to each other and looking over Amina's map, and I take it kind of having a little bit of a pantomime dispute about going in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, even though you are doing this, you will see them. One leans over and starts chatting, says something to the others, sort of quietly. You can't hear anyway because you're far enough away that it would be lost in the noise of the crowds. But let's see here. Okay. as you come closer, they are going to. It looks almost like they're just kind of breaking off and going their separate ways, like a group of people would after they've finished talking. But they do start moving deeper into the alley. And as they get away from the main thoroughfare, you will see the taller of the groups start moving a lot more quickly.
We turn down this alley. As soon as we do that, they're gonna run. Get ready to start running as well.
Alright.
Okay. All right, so Aldemar is very correct. As soon as you turn down the alley, they do start to bolt.
Get him, Cabanok. Bite the balls.
Get him, Lorelei, fetch.
Bite the balls.
I have
So
no idea what's going on right now.
You've been being followed by some thugs all day. You've turned and started moving towards them, and as you've come to the alleyway where they were loitering, they've started running, so you're all now chasing them.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, then I'll 100% like chase after one of them.
All right.
As fun as Meteor sounds like, it feels like overkill in this situation.
You
Also, we wanna
literally
talk to
would
'em.
kill- Yeah, you literally
Yes.
would kill many people in that situation.
Indeed, exactly. Plus, yes, I have to aim it at a target. I can't free aim it. Otherwise, I could argue I would aim. If I didn't care about collateral damage, I could aim a meteor in front of them.
Yeah, so they're going to run. So I will get all of you, please, to roll me a. What am I getting you to roll? It's something.
Well, there is a chase thing, if I remember right. I can't remember what it is right
Yeah,
now.
so I'm just trying to remember what fucking skill it was involved with that. Hang on, here we go.
I assume athletics.
All right. So you move a test. It's a movement test. Typically, this will be a drive, ride, or athletics test, depending on the circumstances. So it is athletics, yes.
Me and my short legs. Run.
Tiny legs.
Can I ride Lorelei?
You
That
can.
would-
Talson can.
Yeah, I was gonna say Talson could.
I mean, you'd have to get permission first.
I'll
Theobald,
let
no.
Cabanok do my running.
All right.
All right.
Oh my god.
Good job.
Okay, I'm going to rule in that case that Wen is actually going to basically trip and trip Theobald over as he does so.
That's sick.
I'm actually going to re-roll this.
There.
Don't worry, Thomas is still one of the few people that can actually run.
Can
Yes,
I
I
run?
succeeded.
Talson.
No.
Oh, you stop to try and help Wen and your brother up, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that. I mean, I could try re-rolling. It can't really get much worse.
Cabanok
Cabanok
shoots.
is
I can
Athletics is
re-roll.
agility-based and not strength-based.
You could
What
argue
else?
strength in some things, but running probably not. I did re-roll.
Okay.
Because being nimble determines how fast I can run.
Okay. So you got that. So let's see how they
Criminals
do.
can't escape justice. This is why I never focused on running.
Pace yourself out, Amar.
Okay.
Ermina and everybody just kind of breathes by him. It's all right. Just breathe, Aldemar. Just breathe.
Sigmar, grant me strength.
You want agility.
All right.
I can't remember. Do I actually have a blessing that can improve my agility? I think I do.
But yeah, so the crowded nature of these tiny winding alleys does actually kind of work against them. So they are not making as much headway as they would like, and despite the fact that Theobald and Wen do tumble over each other a bit, you do gain ground on them. And Kerbenog is nipping between people's feet and heading towards them like a furry heat-seeking missile.
I was heat-seeking or ball-seeking? I'm thinking ball-seeking.
Porque no los dos.
I mean, it is one of the hardest parts of the body.
But yes, so you do gain ground on them. You do, as a group, gain ground on them.
You know, you really should stop running, because the only ways this ends are we catch you or we kill all of you.
All right, everybody, please roll me perception.
Perception.
Falcon sees all.
Falcon sees.
And so does Erwin.
Falcon sees all. Aldemar's too busy. And Thomas, wow. Jesus.
What are all the criticals? What the hell?
I see sweat.
That's all of your criticals for the day. All right. So, as you are chasing after these fellows, those of you who got your critical successes will realize that there are people converging behind you as well.
Yay!
Should.
I have just the thing for this.
Acid bomb.
No!
I throw
Better.
a flask of acid at his face.
Yeah, better. I have better.
Alright,
Remember
and-
those hallucinogenic poisons?
All right.
It's probably better than me setting a firewall.
Yeah, please don't set a firewall in the shanty town.
It's a lot of
This
black
whole
powder all over the
place
place.
is made of tinder and cloth.
I fail to see how that's my problem.
That sounds like a fucking GM problem, doesn't it? All right,
Yeah.
everybody, please roll athletics again.
How much XP are peasants worth?
What doesn't kill you grants you XP.
Well, see, if you were able to slaughter them all without setting the bridge on fire, you'd be fine.
I rolled
No.
a 1 and then a 100.
Okay.
I'm gonna re-roll that because it literally can't
Oh
go
my
any
God.
worse.
Sigmar, grant me strength.
Hey, Aldemar, you're catching up to me.
Excellent.
Sigmar doesn't skip leg day.
Sigmar did at first.
I will spend a fate point or fortune point or whatever they're called to add me a success, making that a success.
All right, no problems. I will
do
say
the
before you
same.
do that though, guys. We'll say that before you do that. A group chase is predicated based on the success levels of your most successful person.
Oh,
So
thank God.
Good
yeah,
job,
so
Aldemar.
Aldemar has basically just pulled you all up out of the fire. And you come bursting out of this alleyway into basically a clearing next to a dock right by the edge of the river. And as you do, I'm not even going to make you roll perception for this because all of these people are waiting for you.
We don't have the chase.
All right. Are they waiting for us with crossbows?
They are not.
Okay, we're okay.
That's not a problem then.
That's I'm
Time to
still
slip
bring up my
on some
halberd.
brass knuckles.
All right, so they're kind of arrayed around the edges of the area. So they're kind of like and they've all stopped and they're all looking at you, but none of them are going for their weapons at the moment.
You made the classic mistake. You're in front of us, you're behind us, to our left and to our right. You've arranged this, there's no way you can possibly get away from us. We are willing to talk terms of your surrender. Do you answer our questions?
And what questions would those be, Watchman? The voice comes from behind you all.
Name is I like to know who I'm speaking with.
Baron.
I'm Aldemar Laut. Formerly of the Order of the Torch. Currently with the City Watch of Ubersreich.
And you, Watchman Aldemar Laut, can call me the Baron. I'd like to
Token.
know what you're doing, nosing around in my grounds.
We are investigating the disappearance of various people.
I'll avoid the pedant trio for ownership of this territory.
Lots of people go missing in the Dunkelflight. They fall in the river. They get drunk and drown. They have unfortunate accidents. What business is it of the Watchers? These are not tax-paying citizens.
They
the one-
are.
She's going to raise an eyebrow at that.
One of them was fortunate enough to pay his tithes to Sigmar. I owed it to at least repay his faith in such difficult circumstances by investigating his death.
But you
Yes,
said
the destitute go missing here all the time. How often do boat captains go vanishing from their own boats?
roll intuition for me.
Everyone or just
Anyone, you all can.
It's all roll because our roll are notoriously poor. Maybe one of us will succeed.
Well,
Two
some
of us
did.
succeeded so far.
That's good enough for me.
Okay.
You said intuition?
Yeah.
I don't intuit.
Taliesin and Thomas, you are going to spot the look of surprise that comes over the Baron's face, despite that she does try to keep pretty much a solid poker face going. She does have a fancy hat, yes.
Awesome.
If you zoom
See it
in,
on
you
the
can
token.
actually see the fancy hat.
Some kind of scorpion hanging from it? Or a
Yeah,
spider?
but don't. Yeah, it's a scorpion, but don't question it.
Yeah,
It's
fine.
a pet.
I have questions about the scorpion.
But yeah, she's going to raise an eyebrow. Why are you seeking answers for the disappearance of a boat captain here? Surely you'd be better served looking down at the docks.
Admittedly, we haven't had a chance to follow up on that yet before we discovered your lackeys following us.
I wanted to know what business the watch had down here. It's not often that you come here, even when the people are begging for help. I figured it must have been something important, and I wanted to know about it.
A lot of people of various ranks and positions have gone missing lately. They seem to be connected in some way.
I
We
see.
don't know that, but it's a possibility we can't ignore.
Have you...
Yes.
sorry, I have a question for Baron. Have any of your men gone missing? Your people?
I don't know. And one of the one of the roughs at the side of the area that you're in will clear his throat and Yasum, my my brother Kurt went missing 2 weeks ago.
Hermita's gonna pull out her map. Where on this map was he last? So I can mark it.
He's gonna look to the Baron, and she makes a slight face, but then gives him a very brief nod, and he's going to trot on over to Amina and look up and down the map, and then kind of point to an area pretty close to the bridge on the east side of the river.
And she's
You know
gonna
better.
mark it.
You know better than anyone. Where we're wasting our time. Anything unusual been going on here? Unusual people hanging about.
No,
Maybe.
people don't come here to hang about. People are here because they've got nowhere else to go. You're the first strangers we've had here in a long time.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to think of something, but anyone who actually, I'll get anyone who wants to roll. What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? Roll a gossip check for me again, and I will give anyone who is of the lower classes before this all went off. I will give anyone who basically comes from a sort of a lower class background can have a +10 on this.
Does that count with the? Do they count with the fellowship bonus or no?
No, this doesn't count with the extra bonus that you get from the
Alright.
people, because this is just a knowledge thing.
Nope.
What's a lower class?
Yeah.
The rat catcher gets a +10.
The apothecary won't.
No,
Peasantry.
yeah.
I'd assume brass social tier that doesn't have the noble blood.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is gossip +10.
Yep.
If you are the of lower class, anybody can make this. I think we
Mhm.
suck. This is awful.
But Aldemar
Oh.
did actually pass it.
True.
Even though I'm not lower class. So,
Well, you're good at gossiping, actually.
Indeed. And you have heard the
Holy
voice that
Hellion!
hell yeah.
is- Oop, what? Oh.
What the hell was that?
I
There was
don't
so
know.
much static, it kicked.
Oh, yeah, no,
Hellion!
that's coming through. Hell yeah. Yep.
I was gonna say there
I
was so
think-
much static, it knocked Zeb out of the Discord.
That was bizarre.
Oh, my poor ears. Holy Christ.
Yeah, that was kind
I
of.
have it high enough to hear people, and it's like, oh shit, that was
Yeah.
fuck.
Okay, is it any better now, Hellion?
Well, now we can hear Hellion talk, so I guess it's for the better.
Okay, he's still trying.
Aw.
No, he's muted.
And now he's muted. So,
Any joy now?
Okay, now he's
Hello?
unmuted.
Hey,
Now we can
there
hear
you
you.
are.
He's
And
back.
there isn't the buzzing of 1,000 bees.
Okay.
I don't like being in a
Maybe-
wind tunnel again.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Suddenly people start screaming at me.
You're muted,
You-
Altor.
You were suddenly emitting the shrieks of hell.
Yes.
It honestly,
thousand bees through the microphone.
it honestly sounded to me like you'd stuck your headset into a ceiling fan. Like it
Or
was
a
just this
blender.
unaccountable screaming of wind.
Pure wind tunnel.
Yeah. All right. Actually, we're all gonna have to take a break for a couple seconds. I'll be back in a minute.
I can't remember what we were doing. Shit. The wind tunnel took everything away.
We were
We
going
gossip
gossip.
checked.
Oh right, the gossip checks. Yeah, and everyone except for Aldemar failed. So
Yep.
you were getting information. There we go. Thank you. Bring
All,
back to normal.
That's because we
Okay.
found someone who might know something, and I'm not leaving here until she tells us that.
and I forgot what I was gonna say. Everybody was talking over. Never mind.
Sorry.
No. And to make sure we get everything we can out of her. We've got her right where we want her, and we've got plenty of witnesses.
Well, while Vaughn's gone, I'll be right back. Good time to brew coffee.
Makes sense.
Yep. I'm gonna go get me some drink too as well. Be right back.
Over there. Maybe I'll check it.
I'm back.
I thought I made tea, not tea-flavored water. Ugh.
So we're talking to a gang leader.
Not surprising. Though it is good to establish that both these are definitely enemies of Sigmar, and we can take a more threatening tone because we have every right and justification to make life suck for them and bust them just for being a gang leader.
Indeed.
On the bright side, I have another dot on my map of a missing person.
It happened by mistake, but I don't think they are behind the disappearances.
Oh, I doubt that. I doubt that very much. They're probably not involved at all.
It's just more of it's really funny because Aldebar's the only person that knows this, that she's some little upstart gang leader. So he's gonna start getting more aggressive, and we're just gonna be like, what?
Sorry about that, guys.
It's all good.
I don't know what the fuck is going on, but there we go. All right, yes. So that's what you know of the Baron, Aldemar. But yeah, she's nothing. She's basically just kind of dick waving because you're on her patch.
Oh,
Also,
good. That's good. This is going to incite Aldemar to be more aggressive.
also, Amina, the guy who came and pointed out to you where his brother went missing. You did notice it before, but obviously you got kind of distracted by these guys coming up. While there are disappearances that seem to have occurred from both sides of the river, more of them seem to be towards the east side up toward the bridge.
Aha! Connections.
Indeed. And yeah, he's gonna sort of say that. He's gonna say, looks like you've got a few people missing from up here.
She's gonna look at
It
the map.
does look that way.
Yeah. She's gonna lean over towards Aldemar and like point at the cluster on the east side near the bridge and be like, yeah, right about there.
Excellent. So, Baron,
Yes.
there's definitely a pattern here. And I sincerely hope you know something useful about these ongoing events here.
I don't. Sorry to disappoint you, Watchman Lout. I haven't bothered myself with people going missing because, as I said, people go missing here all the time. And she cranes her neck and looks over at the map. And that side of the river isn't my patch, so it's not my business.
Whose is it?
She's just gonna laugh and shake her head. It's nobody's.
No?
No one lives there. There's the pickers will go over and squabble over scraps, but there's nothing of any value there, so nobody's claimed it.
Think harder, Baron.
What's there to think about? Everybody knows the east side of the river got washed away in the storms.
Give me something useful, or we'll have a much more in-depth discussion in less friendly circumstances.
Roll intuition for me.
Anybody roll?
Everybody or just Aldemar?
Yeah, everybody can.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the tab. Fucking hell. I keep losing my.
So
Roll
what's
20
what's
was
the
good.
rate of failure this time?
Pretty
So
bad.
far, 4 out of 4.
Dream.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I'm going to re-roll that because
I was gonna
yes,
say, I might re-roll because I can't do much worse.
5 out of 5.
I've got points. I
failed.
still can do it.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah, I've still
Wow.
got points, and I can't. There's only one number worse than a 99, so
Still 5 out of 5 failures.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
What about Wen? Wen's intuition.
Let's see if Wen can save everybody.
Where's Lorelei?
I don't know if he's back yet.
What
Wen
about
can
you?
save everybody. Wen's going to lean over and tug on Aldemar's sleeve and whisper in his ear and basically go, she's telling the truth, Brother Aldemar. She doesn't know anything useful. She doesn't go to that side of the river, I think.
That's unfortunate. My friend here thinks you're telling the truth.
What would I have to gain from lying, Watchman? As I said, that side of the river is not my business.
Good.
Better question. Why isn't your business?
I said that too. There's nothing there of any concern for me. There's the pickers who go and pick up scraps of rubbish to feed their families. There's no bridge, there's no footbridge over there, so I would have to go over the Ubersreich Bridge to go and see that area. What a
Right.
colossal waste of my time and energy.
The night Riker went missing. Did he leave this district, or did he disappear on your turf? He had no reason to be on the opposite side of the river.
Reichert. And she'll look to her men, and one of them will raise a hand. He's one of the pickers, ma'am. And no one. I mean, I saw him about a week ago. He was just heading down towards the river. I didn't think anything of it because
Hmm.
Everyone goes down to the river.
Hmm.
It was, well, I mean, it was real late though. Like it was after the midnight bell.
Pretty late to be picking some items.
Indeed, that didn't seem unusual.
Figured
I
he
said
was,
that would have been in the night.
figured he was going for a piss.
Look, on the map where he went to take a piss.
And he'll come over and look at the map, and it is on the west side of the river, but it is again right up under the bridge.
I think we should go and check that out.
We should, but that would mean walking away from a criminal. It's given us absolutely no reason to look the other way.
Have I done anything? Have I committed any crimes?
I'm pretty sure if we go over you, I'm fairly confident we go over you if we went over you at the garrison. We could stick a few crimes on you.
Perhaps you could, Watchman. But you do have other business to attend to, and all I was doing was asking you what you were doing here because I found it curious that the Watch would be spending their time and the taxpayers' money here.
Technically.
The rest of you think, do we bother to pick up this trash or do we move on?
I think it's more important we make friends around this city than enemies.
Also, a quick question. These 8 dudes around us are multiple dudes, not just 8 individuals, correct? About how many people are around us?
There is roughly about 20 people in the square who aren't you.
Indeed, but they are a bunch of shitty fucking peasants that will be poorly armed, and we have the power of AoE.
That is also true.
I am not scared of them.
And that is also true, Altor, but you are all still in your full getup, and she doesn't know that you were off shift and heading back to the barracks. All she knows is that watchmen who are armed have come into her area and were rustling the peasants.
Oh, I mean, if we bust her now, then she might be replaced by somebody worse.
That seems like a very slippery slope Aldemar won't agree with when it comes to crime. You could make that argument for literally anything.
Aldemar, as much as we want to take down a crime syndicate here, the thing is, nobody is going to care all that much. And of course, well, there are potential lives at stake. Lives that may be in danger if we take too long dealing with this.
We're outnumbered 3-1, and I don't got a horse in this race.
How about this? If we manage
Okay.
to have
Okay.
contacts here, then we have more ears and eyes in the city.
They're barely a crime syndicate. That's an insult.
Yeah. Our gang, yes. A gang that makes their living by exploiting the worst off in the city. I'm surprised that
A gang that can't really move out of this place and can be conquered at any time as well. Because they're not exactly going to be taking on any of the better Ubersreich gangs or even
Yeah, could you imagine this shit pile going up against the Low Havens?
Well, that's the thing I'm saying. This wouldn't be like pissing off a low haven. These are 20 people. We could stomp these guys.
Well, as you are discussing this, the Baron is just going to raise a hand. As I said, I don't know anything beyond the fact that some people have gone missing, and I didn't concern myself particularly with it because, in the end, people always go missing in Ubersreich. I will leave you to your business, Watchman. And she's going to turn and start walking away.
could drop that meteor.
You could. Everything around here is closely packed enough that a meteor would knock down at least a few people's houses.
I don't know, maybe save it for the heretics.
Well, that's the remarkable thing about faith is it's it doesn't run out.
You don't have to take a long rest for this.
No.
But yeah, she's going to basically gesture to her men too, and as she walks off, most of them are gonna just kind of move away. Not necessarily leave, but kind of move even further out of the radius and basically make it so that you have got a clear field to just walk out if that's what you choose to do.
Ermina's gonna
we'll
gesture.
say-
I was gonna say Ermina's gonna gesture to the one whose brother's Kurt that's missing and say that try and find him. Hopefully alive.
He'll nod, but looks a little bit, I'll say, looks a little bit despondent and just being like, I appreciate it, ma'am, but if he's gone this long and hasn't come home, something shitty's happened.
20 of them. How much XP are gang members worth?
One per group.
Not as much as they're worth in D&D.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like you could resell what they're having either, because I've seen bent metal that looks better than that.
And yeah, the weapons that they have are basically like boards with not even boards with nails in them, boards with fucking splinters in them.
It's rough wood.
Dull knives. Yeah.
About what I expected. It's gonna be clubs and improvised weapons, maybe some knives.
Yep. One guy is lucky enough to have a crowbar, but you're pretty sure that it's more rust than metal at this point.
Skip this.
And we should go check out the bridge. Area.
Let's go check the bridge area.
Okay. So to get to the bridge, I'll just
Best hope we never run into you again. We're less busy.
And they'll just kind of nod. All right. So, are you going to Are you going to stay on the west side of the bridge? Are you going to check the west and then go over to the east? What's your plan?
I would say check west, go east.
Okay. So
But that's me. I don't know if that's what everyone else wants to do.
It sounds like a good idea. I'll follow
Yeah.
to the bridge.
So basically, the west side of the bridge is obviously where you are, so you can just sort of go up under the bridge into the shadows of the bridge and start looking around there. But to get to the east side, as mentioned, unless you want to hire a boat, you're going up,
And over. And down.
and down again. But yes, all right. So you head up to the shadows of the bridge where you've been indicated that a few people have gone missing, including the man Reikland who set this all off. I would like for all of you, please, to roll perception for me, but this is going to be a difficult one, so I'm going to say it's a -10 perception.
Oh jeez, -10. We can't.
We can't even pass a normal one. What? Oh God, Thomas.
Oh jeez.
You've walked into a pole. Congratulations.
Can't we just assist who has the one that has the highest perception, like
Yeah.
when?
I
You
have
can do that,
47 on perception.
What's
What's in
Wen's
there?
perception?
Wen's perception is 56.
Just when?
Go, Savior.
Alright.
Savior win. The least blind person in this group.
Sigmar, why have you forsaken me?
Assistance, here we go.
What are we rolling for?
Perception.
Perception with a -10.
-10, yeah.
I'm not
Yep.
shit.
Okay. What is it?
Okay.
The appropriate characteristic bonus. So
Nope.
perception is okay. So 3 of you can help So he'll get a plus 30, which with minus 20, which with minus 10 is a plus 20.
When you can do this.
So like 76 or something.
Isn't that just for people that are proficient in the
I
skill?
am proficient in it.
I'm also, yes.
I was gonna say, I would hope that at least a couple of you are proficient in it. Hey!
Yay, win! I didn't even bother rolling
we
mine.
assisted.
Yay! All right, so yeah, you're going to be down under the bridge, and in the very shadows of the bridge, in the sort of the deep parts where the water gets a bit kind of turbulent towards the middle, but it's brackish around the edges. And this seems to be one of the areas where people use it as a privy a lot, so it really, really stinks down here. You're looking around over everything, and you can see a lot of stuff, but it's not entirely clear what you're looking for. But Wen is peering over the edge, and he stops for a moment, and he's looking at something, and he gestures to Taliesin and to Amina and to anybody else who's helping him, and he's that looks like claw marks. And he points to a section of the stonework that leads up to the edge of the river.
God damn it, it is Skaven.
And when he points it out, you can see these claw marks that are at least 3 times the span of an adult man's hand.
Rat ogre?
I don't think Skaven have that large claws. Ogre, yeah, no.
I was gonna say, I mean they do, but you'd know if a fucking rat ogre was in the city.
I'm thinking assassin. Those fucking, maybe it's not claw marks, like literal claws. It's those fucking those giant punch dagger things the assassins have.
Possibly.
Can we have a closer look at the marks?
You can, yeah. It's going to involve kind of getting down to where it's a bit mucky and smells of piss, and you're not entirely sure what that is floating past that part of the bridge.
Boo-hoo.
But
it smells like shit. Yes.
All right.
I grew up in outdoor. I smelled worse.
Very good point. Well made. All right, so yeah, you can go down and have a closer look. What are you trying to establish here?
I guess how deep are they? Like, what's the weight of whatever made those things?
They are very, very deep. Whatever made these claw marks is incredibly heavy. Or very strong.
Alright, it's a rat ogre. Or demon.
Fucking demon?
If they were a demon, we'd definitely know.
Would we? Alright, I'm trying to think. What could it be?
There would be a lot more carnage, probably.
Alright, let's think. What could it be? What could do this? Rat ogre, troll, demon,
Vimir?
Vimir, yeah. Cryptor. I assume it's not. It's like the claw marks sounded too big to be a lion or a tiger.
Oh, absolutely, yes. They're definitely way too big to be a lion or a tiger.
Oh, wait, no, maybe that's it. Cryptor. You haven't fought undead in a while.
We fought an undead literally in the sewers last week. A few weeks ago.
Like, if anybody examines the claw marks, can they? Is there a lore we can check?
Let me just have a look at the laws.
I mean, we do have a vampire running the city, so.
You're not gonna let up on that, are you?
No, she's literally named Lady Night.
Not until I see her in direct sunlight.
Well, the thing is, she's been in direct sunlight. She just wears extremely covering gowns, and she moves super fast.
Well, that's my point. Like, I mean literally in direct sunlight, not, out while the sun is up but completely covered up, because vampires don't, they don't just explode if they're in radiant sunlight, but...
Yes.
But having the sun directly on them does hurt them.
All right. I am going to have to look at people's character sheets to see if they've got... Okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now, probably not. As
I
far as
highly doubt any of us have the appropriate formative. I have
Yeah, no, I don't-
theology, Bretonian, and Reikland.
Ooh.
Law
You know
magic's
what?
in the Reikland.
I will allow a law Reikland check, but it is also going to be at a -10.
Oh yeah, Reikland, Minotaur. Could be a Minotaur.
Reikland. Does Sven have Reikland? What's his?
No, he has botany.
All right,
he has
Reikland.
botany, I have plants and science
Got it.
and medicine.
Nice.
I have
Oh.
Thomas.
Reikland.
Okay, yep. Aldemar. Nice. All right.
Look at that, Ratcatch knows.
Yeah,
She's-
we're
I
using
mean-
up all the criticals.
Yeah, yeah.
Theobald's gonna be like, I know this, and Armina's gonna be like, you learned something. That's my brother.
Thomas and Theobald. And Aldemar, actually, I'll give you this, because even though you didn't get a crit success, you got a pretty decent success. Yeah, Thomas and Theobald and Aldemar, you're pretty sure, given the size, the spread, and the weight of these claw marks, that this is a troll.
Yeah, troll.
Got to pay the troll. Well, oh god, it's under a bridge, isn't it? We should have known.
And
That's a bit on the nose, isn't it?
Don't blame me, blame the fucking adventure.
okay. On the plus side, it's an adventure. Okay, that explains a lot. All right. Plus side, troll should be really easy to find, unless perhaps if it's a chaos troll.
Yeah, you don't know what type of troll it is, but you're pretty sure, based on how huge it is, that it's a troll.
Well,
I
if,
would
it's water,
normally-
if it's in the water, isn't it just like a water troll?
I would assume generally it's just a general garden variety greenskin troll. However, with the presence of a chaos cult in the city, I'm not going to completely rule out the possibility of a chaos troll.
Jumping over here.
Are there any signs
Yeah.
like any throw up signs? Like, is there like any signs of a bile it might have thrown up, or is that just bile trolls?
You can't see any here at the moment, but the problem with this area is very well trafficked.
Very well trafficked and very well used.
Yeah.
Right.
So if there is or was, it's maybe covered in mud, it's maybe covered in shit, it's possibly was in the mud and was washed away. It's hard to say.
Okay. Don't get puked on. That's a general good rule, I guess.
Hmm.
Good rule for life.
Indeed.
Unless you're willing to be set on fire afterward to be cleansed.
Okay, so we know what we're dealing with, maybe.
Hmm.
Don't know what kind of troll it is, but it's a troll.
Indeed. Okay. This is good. This is good. Trolls have shitty willpower, and I can cause fear to greenskins.
I think it will cause fear to us first.
Terror.
No, I can make us all fearless.
By
Great.
turning it invisible?
No. Actually, it's the same fucking power, I believe. Yeah, it's the same power that gives both everyone immune to fear and imposes fear 1 on all greenskins. It both comes from Beacon of Righteousness.
The problem is that
Armina's
trolls
gonna-
aren't greenskins.
Armina's gonna ask Theobald where he learned about trolls.
I heard about someone who read a book.
Admittedly, greenskins and beastmen are just facts of life in Reikland.
Yep. I mean, trolls exist everywhere. They're not really just greenskins. They're their own species.
Actually,
I thought they counted as a greenskin subspecies.
No, I'm actually just looking at the bestiary now. They are not part of the greenskin hordes. They are monstrous beasts of the Reikland.
That's because
Well,
they've
shit.
existed. They're just tamed and gotten in because, like the ogres. Not ogres. What the hell are they called? Giants.
Giants, yeah.
There's really stupid things, but they're basically just not an actual greenskin.
Well,
Even if they have, some of them have greenskins.
Yeah.
Wait, how do we find it?
The fearless still be pretty good though, because most of us gonna be in fear, and others gonna be terror.
We follow our nose most likely. Ogres fucking reek, so
Falcon's gonna look down at the shit-covered water.
we will need some. If only we had someone with a good nose.
Oh right, dog.
Yeah, you can try using Cabernog to track the troll.
I think that may be the best option.
Indeed, I figure there's two separate things that indeed. Also, tracking troll really shouldn't be that hard. It's big and they're not stealthy. We should have tracks, and as mentioned, they reek.
They're also not that smart.
What's the best way to fight a troll? Are we equipped to fight a troll?
Oh yeah, we'll be fine.
Say that.
I would
Falcon knows nothing about trolls.
I will actually say those of you who got the crits will know that fire is meant to be very effective against trolls.
Exactly.
So basically, it's my job to kill it.
Fire cancels their regeneration. Hey, I have two means of invoking fire.
If it's underground, how effective are your meteors?
Soulfire will still set him on fire. Let's see. Actually, no, wait. Soulfire won't. God damn it. It's still fire, even if it only sets undead and demons ablaze for some stupid reason.
If you can manage to convince a troll that it's a demon because it's that stupid,
it might work.
Does Armina have any oil on her? Like lantern oil or something like that.
Yeah, anyone who's got a lantern would have lantern oil.
Thomas has like 5 things of lantern oil.
If we could lure it outside of its and engage it outside of its cave, I could drop a meteor on it.
Well, if it chases up when we start running, that'll be an option for it.
Let's see.
Because like we can make like torches or something in case.
With them.
All right.
Oil.
What am I thinking? I'm trying to think of something.
Don't know.
I have a brain. At least I'm not having a stonk this week. There we go. That's what I'm after. All right. While you are discussing this, everybody feel free to roll me just a base intelligence roll, please.
Oh, yay, base intelligence. Here we go.
Hey.
Intelligence, no, my kryptonite.
We'll probably fail.
Falcon is smart today. Why can we roll this, but we can't roll anything else?
All right.
Nope.
While you're discussing
Falcon rolled the initiative, so...
Oh, he
Yeah,
still
no.
rolled a 4, so...
Yeah, he
that's
still
pretty good.
did roll a 4, so I'll let that ride.
That's how low my intelligence is.
So yeah, you're discussing this. You're talking about it being a troll and everything like that. And there's a couple things to remember, which those of you who pass this test will remember. One is the fact that the attacks, while spread out over a fair area, there are more of them concentrated in a very specific area.
And the east side.
A specific area that you've overtly been told no one goes to except for the pickers and people who are just out to no good.
The east
East
side.
side of the river.
Yes.
Which means we need to cross the bridge. But I'm not. I didn't pass my test, so. I'm holding the map, though.
Talking thunk today.
Talkin did a thought.
My hand is not food. Stop trying to eat it.
No.
Stop.
But.
Troll.
Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting to click the button sometimes when the cats decide to chomp on my hand, but I'm not doing anything.
But yes, you come to the conclusion that while some attacks have occurred on this side of the river, you might have more luck, if not finding it directly, at least finding its lair if you go over to the less populated side of the river.
Mm.
Well, yeah, obviously, it's over there. It's on the east side. Seems like everyone always gets eaten. Who's there? With the weird exception of Reikland. And that even though he was there a lot of the time, I'm not sure. There doesn't seem to be any clear connection to why he was, because there's no logical reason he should have crossed the river that we've been able to dig up.
I mean, you have seen evidence that it has come over to the west side. You
Yeah.
just
It
don't
was
know how often
probably
it comes to the west side.
hungry.
Yeah, probably. Although, didn't he just eat the boat captain? Or was that after?
That was 2 days prior.
Yeah. Whatever. Whatever, trolls. In any case, but yeah, I mean, I think we can reasonably presume its lair somewhere on the east side.
And
if we can find the lair, we could smoke it out, and then I could drop a meteor on it. Actually, wait. Yeah, we could smoke it out and cause it problems. We could just build the biggest fucking fire possible at the entrance to its lair.
okay, time to Operation Piss Off a Troll, courtesy of not Team Dumbshit for once.
It's a troll. It being of evil, it must die.
It's a troll. They're perpetually pissed off.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know
just
if I
saying.
just got potentially pissed off. I think it was kind of too stupid to be angry all the time.
True.
I'm just saying. I'm saying Team Dumbshit didn't come up with the plan this time.
But either way, yes, we do want to be ready with fire, because the biggest problem with trolls, they're not actually like that. I mean, yeah, they're big, tough, and strong, all that other good stuff. They're nothing exceptional except for their amazing regeneration. But if they're on fire, their regeneration stops working.
That is very true.
Will we go then?
All right then.
So that's why I think we want to lure it outside. So we have as many ways as possible. I assume the way it works mechanically is that as long as the troll is ablaze, it won't have its regeneration.
No, the rules as written for regeneration just say as long as the wounds are caused by fire, then regenerate doesn't count.
Oh, either way.
Yeah, any wounds or critical wounds caused by fire may not be regenerated and should be recorded separately. But yes. So yeah. You are going to make your way up to the bridge, which obviously is going to involve a lot of stairs. And then up and over the top and then down to the east side, which is a hell of a hike. At least as watchmen, you don't have to pay the tolls on the bridge.
Hey.
Which means you don't have to pay the troll toll. But as you make your way down to the docks on the east side of the river, the shattered remnants that were there from, that are still left there from when the storms rolled through and destroyed a lot of what was on this side, the sun has dipped now below the horizon, and a thick fog is rolling in off the river. You can arrange yourselves as you wish to be arranged coming into the area. If you want to change anything or if you just want to head along in that direction.
Pretty much, I think we just want to look through the area and have use care. As I said, I feel like our first plan should probably be to have Kerbanog try to find him. I mean, we have him. We might as well use him. His entire purpose is to find disgusting creatures that don't want to be found. That is his purpose in life.
Okie dokie.
Kerbanog's purpose in life is catching rats, fat rats, because then he gets praises and pets.
That's why I said finding disgusting creatures that don't want to be found.
Might want to have Talsin and then like hide or /
in the back.
be somewhere safe.
Oh yeah, Talson.
You're gonna have so
this
much
is
fun.
even bigger than a human. But okay,
Yep.
yes. Alrighty then. Is there actually a skill to control Kerbanog and give him an order?
Yeah.
Animal handling?
Yeah.
Alright.
Does this place still count as urban?
Yes, yes it does.
Tuckin is going to stealth.
There's no skill called
Okay.
handling.
There's animal
There is
care.
animal training.
Yeah,
Animal
which
care,
is
animal
healing.
Mm-hmm.
Animal care is just healing. Animal training, which is training.
I will say to roll animal training because you don't specifically have, you don't have a piece of clothing belonging to the troll or anything like that. So you've got to try and impress on Kerbanog on what he's trying to find.
There is an animal training skill.
Yeah, that's what he's.
We established that.
I was just about to say, because you've worked with Kerbanog for so long, you will get a +10, so that is actually a pass. Okay?
Okay.
So you give Kerbanog the order to find, and that will allow him to have a +20 on his perception to find the troll.
Can we assist the dog?
You know, to be honest, a 5-minute charge time is pretty abysmal in terms of usability in battle.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, Thomas needs to charge up his spells.
I will allow you, Thomas, to roll before combat starts, because you know what you're looking for. So, yeah, if you want to roll for perception for Kerbanog.
Yeah, it's not that easy since it doesn't actually have the skill perception.
Oh,
It is
that's
a
right.
basic
It's a separate
skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
know
he
what?
has intuition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
And
say
his
roll.
intuition isn't that high either.
Yeah,
I mean, I have higher intuition. Dog. Well, not exactly the skill points.
Yeah.
I actually have higher perception than the dog, even though it's a dog.
That is strange that a dog doesn't have a decent perception. Let me have a look here.
Sure if I'm right, but I don't feel the near the river is very safe since everybody who's gone missing has gone missing next to the river taking a piss. Other way.
Well, at the very least, I can try and get it to chase me if you need be.
When has decided to go there some reason?
Because Talcon was over there.
He can probably hide down here.
Yeah. In a pile of trash.
He's gonna hide behind Ermina.
Alright, use your perception, Theobald, to count for Kerbanog's, because he is operating on your orders.
And you get the plus.
And you still get the +20.
Can we assist Theobald then?
That's Theobald's Perception 37.
Yeah.
If there's any bonuses, then.
Plus 20.
Okay, so you've actually got 3 success levels on that.
Yeah.
Because I gave you plus 20. Okay, yeah, so you are going to give Kerbenog the order to seek out the troll, and you're basically going to be like, hunt, hunt, and Kerbenog is going to go belting off down the walkway at the side of the docks. So you all can follow him up this way. I'll get you to roll your own perceptions as you go.
Otherwise, the troll might sneak up on us.
Maybe.
No. I'm gonna try re-rolling. I still haven't re-roll.
Sneaky, just quiet.
It's not
terrified at the
fumbling.
thought of meeting a troll, and he's keeping a good eye out.
Alright, Talcon, you are going to see as you come up to this dock that there is most definitely signs of bile and vomit that's kind of half melted and scorched the end of this. Is Wen advancing with you, or is he staying shivering in his rubbish pile?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know.
What says Aldemar?
Aldemar?
Oh.
Yep. I just
Oh,
asked
sorry,
if,
we're doing.
Yeah, I
Oh,
just
we're
asked
all-
if
we're
Wen
all-
is. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what?
I just asked if Wen is advancing with you, or if you're keeping him back
Oh.
in his rubbish pile.
Oh, no, he needs to learn to face trolls. Come along.
Alright then. Alright. So yeah, Kerbenog's gonna keep going barking and bouncing up between the stanchions of the bridge as the mist swirls around you. Thomas, when did you want to start channeling or doing whatever you have to do to...
Probably right about now.
Alright, then I'll let you roll this now.
This is probably when I'm going to crit, and so I immediately have to have the spell go off.
Quite possibly.
If the GM is asking this question, it means we're about to run into the troll.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's no hiding it. You're literally on a battle map that's only got 3 directions to go in.
No shit. All right.
I'm going to fortune,
Okay.
because I need to get loads of successes for doing this.
Okay.
Trolls are scary, right?
Yep.
They're both scary and stupid. That's good.
I'm not sure if you want to beat this close to each other if the vomit isn't a factor.
I believe the poison vomit is only a bile troll thing.
I don't know that. I just know, Talcin just noticed that there's vomit all over the place.
Sigmar, grant us your courage.
Now, does that give us fearless to everything, or just fearless to greenskins, undead, and whatever?
Fearless to everything.
Yeah, gain the fearless talent. So.
Yeah, but the fearless talent, you have to specify an enemy that you're fearless against.
Troll.
Fearless against everything, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah, you can also just say fearless against troll.
Yeah,
You
like
know what's going up.
like the effect I put down is literally exactly what it says in the book. So
Yeah.
Now we just have trouble running away,
Kerbenog.
but that's going to be the only issue.
Kerbenog's going barking. And yeah, Kerbenog's going to get to the edge of the river and just be barking his little fool head off right now.
Okay.
Remain within
We
my
need to
line
move.
of sight and we'll be okay. Huh?
Need to move.
Move up then. Go, go, go.
I'm not a front runner, but
I'm banging back a little bit. I don't want to get punched in the face. I'm not that tough. When you hang back, because I don't want you to get murdered. We would like it to punch Erwin or Lorelei.
Yes, Aldemar.
Well, we don't particularly want it to punch anyone.
No, but if it's going to punch anyone,
Indeed.
I think I'd rather be punched than whatever they did to that duck.
that's true. You definitely don't want to get hit by its club, but you definitely don't want to get bitten.
I have a question for Lorelei. Well, Andy. Is Lorelei going to be using her spear?
Yeah, has Lorelei got anything she wants to pray for before?
Oh, you don't have a melee weapon, do you?
Oh, I have melee weapons.
Trolls, you said they're dangerous beasts.
Wait, what about the spear then?
I was asking if Lorelei is going to be using a melee weapon or a ranged weapon, kind of.
What about King of the Wild?
To summon it?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I can go ahead and pop off King of the Wild. That's not a big deal.
Which will act according to your wishes for the duration of the miracle.
Just like 30 seconds.
That's a good question, because... Well...
I said, I originally thought they were greenskins, but then I finally put it together like, wait, beasts.
It's... See, the thing is that beasts of the Reikland and monstrous beasts of the Reikland are two separate categories.
Yeah, I would summon like a pigeon or a rat in this instance.
Oh, sorry. I thought they were all in the same, that they were just categorized as a beast of the Reikland.
They don't have the bestial trait, so. No.
All right. Okay, plan over.
They can have the bestial trait, but not all trolls. I think some are. I mean, most of them are smart enough. Some are just really stupid. That would count, I guess.
I will say specifically, this one does not have the bestial trait.
All right, you could still King of the Wild and summon a pigeon to fight for us.
I mean, I'll give it a shake.
Yeah, he's asking if you're using
or not.
Yeah.
The reason I was asking if you're using a melee weapon or not is because I have things that can help.
I think she wants to poison your weapon.
Yeah, I want to put a nerve toxin on it.
Okay, then yeah, let's go ahead and go with the... I should probably use the pole arm rather than the spear and shield.
Can trolls be poisoned?
This is a nerve thing. If they have nerves at all, technically.
But yeah, but my question is more about with their whole regeneration thing. How does that work vis-a-vis poisons? Because they can recover from basically any wound. They can regrow almost their entire body as long as they're not completely killed. So therefore, the question is like
set on
with
fire.
Poison. Well, yes, I'm not. That's fire is their great weakness.
Yeah, you're not sure whether a poison will affect the troll or not. That's all I'm gonna say at this point.
And if you want a more kind of clear question, regenerate doesn't do anything with poison.
But yeah, I'm putting a dose of Morse Rose poison on Lorelei's weapon.
And specifically, that's going to be my pole arm. I'm going to use the halberd.
Okay. No problems. All right, so you've got your Beacon of Righteous Virtue. Thomas has got some channeling up. All right, it hasn't emerged yet, but Kerbenog is going absolutely fucking bunter at the edge of the water.
Okay, let's go check.
All right.
Over here. Do I see anything?
You see the fog and the shadow of the bridge, coupled with the fact that it is now nighttime, makes it difficult to see anything much at all. What you do see, though, is there is what looks to be quite a significant, basically like a cavern going down under the bridge into the bank of the under the bank of the river. You also notice as you come around this pole here that there is a lot of just trash and crap in the water. And a lot of that trash and crap is catching the light in a very particular way. There's a lot of bones down there. Like a massive pile of bones.
Like a troll
Boy.
feeding for 3 months bones.
Something along those lines.
Wonderful.
And initiative.
Can't see the troll yet, but initiative
Indeed.
rolling. All right.
Initiative tracker.
I have entirely forgotten which one we used.
Eye bonus.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it is a troll ninja.
It's a purple troll.
Dang it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your thing rolling actually adds your thing for you. I forgot that.
Yep.
Full fucking initiative.
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
I rolled as good as Erwin.
Has everybody? Oh right, haven't rolled for when? Can someone roll for when?
When. Where can we get this thing? There we go. And initiative. Holy crap.
When? What the fuck?
I've only got one fortune point to work with, so do well.
Alrighty, so that's everybody now though?
I think so.
Mine didn't send anything to the tracker.
Okay, no problems. I'll put you on there manually.
Yeah, I think you have to select your token first,
That's all
like
good.
in L5R.
Alright, so you got 6. Okay. Everybody in order. Alrighty then. So, Wen is going first.
Much to his regret.
Indeed. What would you like Wen to do in his turn?
The troll because we can't see it.
I guess, yeah, just look around for the troll.
Alright. Wen is going to roll perception.
This is the one and only time where I won't worry this will cause Win to immediately run. Because Sigmar will give you strength.
Indeed.
Which is good because I don't trust in your willpower.
Oh, man.
Okay. Wen does not see the troll, but he's going to move up a little bit and kind of clutch his weapon that he's got, and just be like, I don't see anything. The fog's quite thick.
Steady, Wen.
Aldemar.
Show yourself, beast.
It seems that the fog is even dampening the sound. Like you can hear the lapping of the water next to you, but it sounds almost muffled with the darkness and the dampness. Roll perception for me, Aldemar.
Sizer?
Yeah, just trying to click it.
Okay. You are not sure. You think you hear something, but you're not sure where the noise is coming from.
You spend a fortune, you could get a success out of that.
Can you do that when you didn't actually succeed?
I think we've been over this before, and it turns out that yes, you can.
Because it just says
No,
add
you
a
can add one
success.
success level.
Yeah.
All right, then I will spend a fortune point to succeed on that roll because I'd like to see this troll.
0
Okay, no-
becomes 1.
Yep, not a problem. You will strain your ears a bit more, and over the sound of Kerbenog's barking, you will hear a guttural sound and realize that the troll is pretty much in the water beneath Kerbenog.
How far from Kerbenog is it?
Yeah, you can
Like,
see it on
right
the map.
fucking there.
No, but it's underwater, so I'm
Oh.
asking distance.
It's just coming out of the water now. It's emerging from the water.
God fucking damn it, Kerbenog. Fuck.
It's not the dog's fault.
Did what it was told to do.
No, my point. No, the problem is now. What was it? If I drop a comment on the Teufel Terror, I'll kill Kerbenog.
Can't
Yeah,
you drop
and
it below
yourself
behind it?
also.
Nope, it must be directly targeted on an enemy.
The thing is, it's under. How big's the area?
Oh, no, wait, no, I'm a fucking idiot. Let me go look again. I think I misremembered it. A twin-tailed Cobblasian, a trailfire, plummets from the heavens to strike a point within line of sight and range. The target location must be outdoors and may only target the Sigmarwood demon enemy. Okay. So yeah, that thing. Okay, so I kind of need a ruling on that as to what exactly that last sentence means.
Okay.
Because it says strike a point within line of sight and range, but it also says target location must be outdoors and may only target the Sigmarwood demon enemy. The first two things suggest that it can be any location, any chosen point. But the last one suggests that it needs to, go on top of an actual person, something that, Sigmar would want to throw a comment at.
I am going to rule because this is a miracle, yeah?
Yeah, it's a miracle.
Yeah. Because it's a miracle, it's going to follow intent. And that is, your intent is to drop it in such a way that it hits the enemy but minimizes damage to friendly targets.
Yeah.
So I am going to allow that you don't have to pinpoint it immediately on the creature, but it has to land in such a place that it would conceivably do damage to the creature.
Understood. Okay. Let's start. This looks like a good place.
Which is in your line of sight.
Presumably. How tall is this?
This is a bridge stanchion.
Okay.
Got the bridge.
Off map then.
How do you pronounce that thing?
Because there is a place over here that will work for this. It's off the physical map that I can see because I can see straight ahead. It's like, a few more feet in this direction.
All right, that's fair. I'll allow it.
Can I see the actual Teufel Terror itself, or from where I'm standing? Do I need to move?
You would need to move to see.
Oof.
Yeah, you would need to move to see it.
Yeah. Although I don't need to see it. The problem is, I'm like, could I drop it without actually seeing it? Because, yeah. All right. I'll move over here. I guess I just need to be able to see the damn thing, just to let's avoid any potential issue.
Yep.
Also, are we under the bridge?
Everybody who's past these are under the bridge. Yes.
So the bridge ends at the stanchions.
It goes a little way further out. I'd say probably Thomas and Talcon are under the bridge. Aldemar, Wen, and Theobald are not.
So the troll is directly under the bridge.
Oh fuck yes, it is.
The meteor's coming at an angle.
I hope the meteor's coming at an angle. Yeah.
Fair point, actually. That is.
It's gonna make a huge hole in the bridge.
Yep.
Let's see.
Doors will be pretty cross.
And this is the Ubersreich Bridge, which means it's wide as fuck.
Okay. How far out does the bridge go?
So the
Basically
bridge.
to me.
Yeah, the bridge kind of goes to about this line.
So the troll.
The troll isn't quite under the bridge, then.
Well, it is.
It's into the middle of the bridge. I'm on the edge of it.
Oh, okay, so
There's another set of stanchions off the map to the left for the other side of the bridge.
Yes.
Okay, it's awkward. Okay, I
It
guess I
can
can't
come in-
drop the fucking.
Can come in at an angle instead of straight down.
No, well, I don't know. Fair point.
Because
Fair
you're
question. I know
technically
it's a,
not under
Yeah,
the
I'd say
bridge,
it's
so
just
you could summon the meteor to shoot in, maybe? I don't
well,
know.
this is gonna require the GM thing, because like yeah, it says plummets from the heavens to strike a point within line of sight and range. The target location must be outdoors.
I mean, under the bridge is still outdoors, but then going straight down, you do run the risk of collateral damage. Yes. I will. But then we all know that things that fall from the heavens don't necessarily fall straight down because hailstones, rain, snow, that all can come in at an angle. I will allow it, but it will increase the difficulty because now you're starting to get a bit
Specific about what you're asking
specific
for.
with Sigma.
What's the penalty?
What do you roll your miracles off?
Pray.
Yeah, but what stat does that come off of?
Fellowship.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a -20.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Pray for giant rock.
But if you pull it off, it's gonna go well.
Mar, I beseech thee, smite this abomination. Yeah, fuck you.
Holy shit! Okay.
That's a very angry meteor.
Yeah, suck on my faith. Also, I forgot to actually roll the damn thing.
So just roll it again so we get the effect and we won't worry about the number.
And wait, oh, that's when I got when. Oh crap! I closed the wrong character sheet.
So it's 1d10 plus success level, so it's 1d10 plus 6.
Damn. Okay, yeah.
Yep, 1d10 plus. Yep. So it's 1d10 plus 6. That goes straight to wounds, and it's now ablaze.
Okay. That
So,
is 16.
max wounds.
Wow. Yeah. I'm just having a moment of thought here, though, because it is still in the water. But it is...
Holy fire.
It is a magical fire, though, because it comes from the meteor. From the comet.
But it is a miracle.
It is a miracle as well.
I have to say, this fire is already special fire that ignores all toughness points and armor. So,
yeah.
So everything that would be, so basically it ignores everything that would be protecting you.
Yeah, I'll allow it because it does ignore toughness and armor. All right, so let me go back here. Oh, pardon me.
That's gonna be a very angry troll coming at your face.
Wait, Almar is reaffirmed in his faith that he's chosen that he has devoted his life to the right God, and is kind of happy with himself that he's gone so far that Sigmar would listen to him when he asked for a miracle of this magnitude.
Indeed. Okay.
Although in the foggy condition, we hear muffled Aldemar yelling, and then a streak through the fog.
Yes.
Wow, that was lucky.
And then massive amount of water will wash over us because there's a fucking meteor in the water.
Pretty much. Splash. In fact, it does kick up a hell of a splash, but it's not going to wash you off the side or anything like that. So let me have a look. I'm going to use this one because a meteor from the heavens came and smacked him. All right then. Thomas, Now is your turn, friend.
Okay. Okay, there's something I need to double check real quick because it matters for the sake of fire.
All right.
Right. I'm just going to move over here a little and carry on channeling.
Okay.
So
Your turn.
let's see how I do for
Okay.
channeling.
Sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
It's happening next turn.
All right then.
Axie's flames are with me.
Axie's flames are very much with me.
Talcon, what are you doing, friend?
I can see it now, right?
You can, yes. I will ranged attacks do take a -10 penalty though because it's so fucking foggy and dark tonight.
Oh, that.
But it's a
Well,
big
I mean,
target.
if a meteor just landed, it might have gotten rid of some of the fog.
It's also a really big target.
Yeah, that's true.
Barge gives 20, and I'm a halfling, so I could see it +10 anyway, so I could still get +20.
Does your fear against massive? Oh no, that's right. You've got fearless now. That's
Yep,
right.
that's why I'm not rolling terror too right this moment.
Yeah.
Anyways, firing my pistol.
Okay.
Nope, I'm gonna re-roll that because those things are expensive.
All right.
Yay!
Success. Okay. So that's 10 damage minus toughness and armor, yes? Or it's got impale. What does impale do?
Impale does nothing because I don't have crossbow.
Fair enough.
I lose all qualities once I don't have it.
Fair enough. All right.
Don't forget to give yourself a dot, Aldemar.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Aldemar gets a dot as well.
Oh yeah.
Damage an enemy.
Yep, you did. You damaged an enemy.
Okay. And they can't dodge because it's ranged. I'm nowhere near point blank.
Yep. It is going to
Somehow I don't think this thing has a great dodge skill.
roar horribly as a crossbow pistol bolt jams in some fleshy part of its head. And it's its turn.
Carabanog, no!
I think it's more angry at the person that just chucked a giant meteor at it.
Which means it's going to step forward and just step on Carabanog as it races toward us.
I will say so. I don't think the troll is capable of putting together that I'm the cause of it.
You were yelling.
It's really not. It is going to crawl up here onto the side. And as it crawls up, you will realize that it doesn't have a club. What it's got is the shattered and jagged end of a boat anchor in one hand.
Don't get hit by that.
And it's it climbs up out of the water, and it's howling in rage and anger, and it's going to try and roll to not be on fire anymore.
Don't you dare.
So let me have a look at this. Okay.
What does it have instead of a club?
Anchor.
Boat
Fuck off, anchor.
That actually seems worse, honestly. I'm kind of more scared of that.
Yeah, it's a lot more damaging than just a fucking what do you call it?
Club.
Club, yeah.
Just a random tree branch or some shit they picked up.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a big hunk of metal that they picked up with pointy ends.
I mean, honestly, logically, realistically, it doesn't really matter. As human beings, we're dead if we got hit with either of them, but still.
Okay, it is still on fire. It does not manage to on fire itself. So there's that.
Yeah, burn. What does a blaze do again?
1d10 wounds at the end of the round. Minimum
Oh,
1.
So 1d10 1d10 at the end of its turn, reduced by I think armor and toughness.
Mm-hmm.
And +1 for every additional ablaze that stacks on it.
Reduced by armor.
And toughness.
Yeah, modified by toughness bonus and armor points for a minimum of 1 wound suffered. It
Armor
will always
points
do at
to-
least 1.
To what location?
I think it's always sent on mass.
Oh.
Because you're on fire.
Okay. Alright, so there's that. It is going to lumber forward, which is all it can do because it climbed as well.
Caravan gets an attack of opportunity.
He does.
Go, Carabanog! Be the vicious beast that you are! Take down this troll.
All right, Lorelai, it's right where you want it.
Let's see the stats. That's actually a hit, I think.
Okay.
Well, it's a +20 to hit it because, well, Carbanog's also small, so it should be like +30 to hit it.
Yep, +30 because small and, well,
It's large.
large.
Yeah, he has a weapon skill of 35 and weapon +5.
So you'd be rolling against 70, so that's 2 success levels.
So I think it's 7 damage then, since it's 11 +5.
Wait.
Okay.
Oh, I screwed up on my roll for the crossbow pistol because I should have +20 more. That's my base tough thing. Why did it only do base? So 2 more damage to it.
Okay.
Why did it not go all the way through?
I'll sort that out in a second. So you said 7 damage from Cabanog?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. And that's its turn. Theobald.
Let's see, how far is it? So move. And throw rock with a sling.
Okay.
What's the modifiers?
+20.
From the fog. +20 from the size.
Yeah. Yeah, -10 from the fog, +20 from the size.
So 10 total.
Yep.
So you probably don't want to be near it.
It's a failure. I guess spend fortune, right, to make it.
You can use a fortune to get a +10, +1 success. Yeah, that'll even out to
a success.
0, I think.
It'll get you back down to a point where you'll get a base success, yeah.
Well, it's 6 damage.
Okay. You watch as your rock goes sailing overhand, thunks directly into the troll's hide, falls harmlessly away.
No, that's more toughness than that, I think.
Once you've mentioned that we don't want to be near it because it's a big fucking monster or because you're gonna set it on fire.
Because I'm going to be nuking it and the general area around it.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say. In fact, the fact that the foggies here is kind of making it a bit more difficult because Thomas is reflecting off the fog now.
What's the glow?
But it is Lorelai's turn.
So yeah, hit it with whatever you want, but then probably don't be next to it. Or within like 5 feet.
All right, then I'm just gonna get with my polearm, I guess.
Oh shoot! Fearless does not work like I thought it did in this system.
Oh. Ooh, crit success.
Oh, and that has the poison, so it's paralyzed. If it does damage.
Okay.
I think. Oh, where's my Morris Rose?
So what is your damage on the pole arm?
Sorry, I rolled it from the skills table, not the weapon table. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, just roll it from the weapon and we'll just take the... Okay. So it is 5 plus 4 plus
Plus
your
1 plus the crit.
1. So that's 10 for the damage.
Yeah, I meant-
It was a crit.
What the-
Does that do something?
Yeah, we've got to roll that on the crit tables.
Oh wait, what did impaled?
Who's moving my dog?
Wait, you have impale on your halberd?
Yeah,
That's not good. Because it can get stuck in him.
it is a halberd.
It's a halberd.
It has a pointy end.
It's also coated in that poison, which says if you get a crit, it's paralyzed.
Yeah. But also, fearless is not fearless. You actually have to take a test still.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Well,
you?
for this combat, we'll just leave it as is. It's not worth.
Okay,
going
yeah,
through that
just
now.
remember for the future.
Yeah, just remember it for the future. Let's have a quick look here. There we go. Impale. Critical weapon. Impale weapons cause a critical hit on any number divisible by 10, as well as on doubles. Impale comes from range weapon.
But it
Okay,
also
so yeah,
doesn't-
it increases my crit range by
Yeah.
double, basically.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think it matters about the test because let's see.
It doesn't give the talent, does it?
It does give you the talent, yes.
Yes, that's the exact wording. Granted, I think this whole thing was a bit of a mistake, but regardless, this thing remains in effect as long as allies are remain within my line of sight and the miracle is still on. And during that, like the whole thing failing fear test do is give you broken conditions, which you can't get while you're under Beacon of Righteous Virtue.
Yeah, so in that case, it would just effectively make you.
I think they fucked up with in terms of the exact things of their own system, but I think what they were trying to get at was, don't suffer fear while you're under Beacon of Righteous Virtue. But maybe. Otherwise, I said that makes. I don't know why exactly the fearless thing was there, especially since, as noted, it seems odd when the fearless talent itself suggests you need to pick a target, which is nowhere in the miracle.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think if it stops you from gaining the broken condition at all, there's no point rolling the test.
Yeah, okay. I didn't realize the test. I didn't realize the miracle did itself that way.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. So you have gotten a critical on this thing, Lorelei. Please roll your location 1d100.
Okay, also, is it wearing any flavor armor?
It has armor.
Actually,
then...
it says it instantaneously removes all broken conditions, and then gain the fearless talent while the miracle is in effect. So it doesn't protect you from getting broken conditions.
Okay. All right. Well, if that's, I'll look into it further later.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out later because that seems like a FAQ
Yes.
question later.
It's right now. Let's just keep moving.
Left
Yeah,
leg.
and wherever I hit, get its armor reduced by 1.
Right leg.
Left leg.
The thing is, though, it's not wearing armor.
It has natural
yeah, left leg.
armored hide.
Yeah.
Fair enough then.
So yep. All right. Inspector gadget. God damn it. There we go. Okay, and now roll your 1d100 for the actual critical that you do to it. Ooh, shit.
Just lops an arm off or something.
Leg wounds.
Okay. Major tendon at the back of your leg is cut, causing you to scream out in pain as your leg collapses. Gain 2 bleeding, 2 stunned, and 1 prone condition as you cut the fucking troll's leg off.
Amputation, very hard.
Okay. Actually, this is going to be relevant. Do you get...
Yeah, Altor, how big's your area of effect on the troll?
Let's say it'll hit me where I'm standing.
Okay.
Did you let us know you were going to do that?
Okay.
It doesn't do anywhere near as much damage to people in the AoE as it does to the main target. It just hurts.
Okay, so it's prone. You don't actually think that the poison is doing anything to it, but Lorelei has managed to cut its leg off, so it's fallen over and is on fire and bleeding right now. So Lorelei does get gets her thing. And yeah, it's up to you if you want to stay there or if you want to move away.
Once again, did Thomas let us know that he was going to be nuking it and its immediate vicinity?
The dude's glowing in fire.
He always glows in fire. That's what he does.
I would have let you know.
Right.
I would have let you know if it's a Drigtron at this, I'd be hitting it with the biggest thing I have.
Also, things are indeed, so the look of a wizard while he's normal is not even remotely the same as a wizard while he's channeling. And
yeah, but every time he channels, does the same thing. And so far, I've seen him light up like a candle, try to set me on fire and burn a table, and make his leg light up.
But yes, he's already said that he will have let you know that he's using his biggest spell, so...
Cool. That's all I needed to know. In that case, I'm going to back up 5 yards.
Yep. No problems.
But see, if you're behind me, you should be perfectly safe from it.
Okay.
There we go.
Unfortunately, I think Kerbenog is not perfectly safe from it.
Okay.
But
Can't even
Kerbenog
see Kerbenog
didn't
anymore.
actually get his turn. We kind of just skimmed over Kerbenog's turn on Theobald's.
Kerbenog goes before you anyway, so. Or does it?
No, he will.
No idea since it's not in the initiative. So
Kerbenog
does it
usually
go at
goes-
all?
Or Kerbenog usually will go on your turn, as he tends to. So, in which case, Thomas will go before them.
Well, then, if nothing, hold on then.
Yeah, well, it didn't go on my
Yeah,
turn.
Kerbenog didn't do anything, so.
Instead of me running that way, then, now that the troll's prone ablaze on fire, I'm just going to zip over here, grab Kerbenog, and we're going to jump in the fucking river.
Alright, I'll allow it.
Arf?
And
Alright,
now
Amina.
Kerbenog attacks you.
Kerbenog and I are buds. He knows this. I like him second most after the halfling.
I'm just gonna back up.
I keep losing my life. For some reason. It's weird. Keeps
Amina's just gonna
resetting.
back up. That's all she's gonna do. She's just gonna back up.
Alright, no problems. Yeah. And, okay, Erwin. Your turn.
Well, there's no good place to charge since it's here now.
Yep.
So I guess I'll back up.
Okay, you're gonna take the Shattered Warning. Alright, no problems.
When will Privilege charge in?
Wen's gonna go and attack the troll. No, Wen can see the wizard between him and the troll that's glowing quite brightly. So he's going to pray loudly, and kind of move up a bit closer to Aldemar. But
And
yeah,
another meteor strikes the.
no, he's not going to meteor. Oh fucking hell! Sorry guys, I'm gonna be back in a moment. I'm sorry to do this right in the middle of combat.
Alright. Come on, Wen. Have you crossed into initiate yet?
Nah.
Look, I know it's going to be a long time for you to perform miracles, but if you could learn blessings, that'd be nice.
I'm assuming, again, it's a yeah. But he learned how to gamble.
Also, the grammar in this, the relevant quest, the thing that, in the relative sentence that Timo's pointing out is terrible. Because it's unclear, grammatically speaking, if while the miracle is in effect and they remain in your line of sight, is meant only to apply to the fearless talent or to the entire previous sentence due to the awkward way it's arranged as a list. Sentences all allies with line of sight to you instantaneously remove all broken conditions and gain the fearless talent while the miracle is in effect and they remain in your line of sight. That's sort of shit that'll get your English teacher really pissed at you, because it could mean either that you gain a fearless talent while the miracle is in effect and you remain in your line of sight, but not removing broken conditions, or that you instantaneously remove all broken conditions while the miracle is in effect and they remain in your line of sight. I'm probably talking to nobody.
No, I'm
Probably
looking
talking to
at
somebody, but
I'm looking at the Texas. There's no like break, so it's saying that all allies within line of sight lose their broken conditions and gain the talent, while the miracle is in effect and can still see you, or you can still see them. So it's kind of does make you kind of look at it with a bit of an eye twitch on the grammar and how much of a run-on sentence that feels like.
Well, that's the problem, is that it's honestly really hard to parse intentions and all that. What's intentional, what's not, because we know 100% know that the editing on this book was fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's still literally to this day, right? Unless they changed it since, or can apothecaries
can't actually
still
apothecary.
Literally not apothecary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really need to apothecary to be an apothecary.
Because of what was clearly a typo, they apparently just are still unaware of.
Yeah. Apothecaries can't apothecary because lore apothecary doesn't exist.
Or they're aware of it, but they're not correcting it until they've also come up with a whole list of other things to correct at the same time.
Both.
See, in this particular case, I really don't know. I can't even try to guess at it by comparing to other miracles, because the miracles are a complete fucking clusterfuck in power level. So I can't even say, well, this is what would be most similar to what other miracles. Like, that's really impossible to gauge, because the miracles seem completely fucking random in terms of how powerful they are and how much, of an effect they have.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm hopefully about to successfully cast, like I said, my biggest spell, Great Fires Ruzul.
That sounds fun.
It's the biggest thing that you can do as a bright wizard.
Ah. So you're gonna say, so you like fire, right?
It takes 10 successes to channel it.
Oh, you got 9, but you also crit. So it's like,
It means it auto casts.
yeah.
Gonna be lots of flame.
Yeah, it does a minimum of 16 damage, ignoring armor, to the target, and a minimum of 11 to everything within 5 yards.
Yeah, that would kill Gebanog.
Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, playing a freaking. I didn't even look. I never even noticed this before, but playing a fucking Priest of Rio would be such a pain in the ass.
Why?
Why is that?
Almost all their miracles suck. At least relative to what, from a mechanical perspective, relative to what the various other miracles do. Like,
You mean Rhea or Reynolds? I misheard.
Rhea.
Oh yeah,
Rhea.
sends all creatures within yada yada yards.
How many
that's enough
wounds
feet.
does Erwin have?
27 wounds, toughness
many?
5. Yeah.
How many? I only had the 7. I didn't hear what came before it.
Oh, he has only 7.
Oh.
His toughness is 1. No. He has 27 wounds, toughness 5.
Oh, he's
50.
fine. I can't kill you then. I could kill myself.
Oh, I just read her skills, and it doesn't say Rhea's
If
union
that's the
needs
case,
anything
then I could have
beyond
just stood
casting
there
spell.
and hit him with my fucking axe. But I guess
say-
so.
It could do anywhere from like 11 to, I don't know, in the high teens to you.
Yeah, no, Rhea's Union stands out. It's like everything almost like it's kind of a tough call for sure, but I think Rhea's Union does probably take the cake as the most useless miracle. I'm not sure why it counts as a miracle, honestly, because it's because that whole if biologically possible part. Like you take that out and fine, I guess it technically at least counts as a miracle, but
It means that they automatically have a child get pregnant mid combat or something. They're mostly utility and other stuff. I could see the combat one, but then again, Rhea's not going to be going into combat. Most Rhea combats aren't going into combat anyway because
you wouldn't think so. But I'm talking about like what a PC will do. But even like in terms of most like general, I suppose you had a fairly combat light campaign and all that. Just Rhea's Union, Rhea's Harvest, and Rhea's Shelter are all pretty much almost completely worthless.
But yeah, I think the ones you'd be using if you were combat based would be Succor and Touch.
Sorry about that, guys.
And maybe Filter, depending on how. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. Aldemar, your turn.
Oh, right. Sigmar, teach this abomination to fear your divine strength. Second verse, same as the first. What's my penalty?
All right. You are now able to see it directly. So I'm still gonna say there's the -10 because it's foggy, but then obviously You now have direct line of sight to the damn thing, so.
So just minus 10?
Yeah.
All right, so it ends up being a 0 because
Okay.
plus 10 from advantage. So let's go.
Success.
Not amazing, but I don't want to risk a reroll because
That's fair.
I never want to risk failing these things because I don't want sin points.
Yeah, fair enough.
It also needed to take its 1d10 wounds, minimum 1 for the last round of combat.
You are right.
Burn.
Alright, so you roll your 1d10 for its damage.
6 straight to wounds and give it another ablaze condition.
Yep.
Okay, not quite as epic a meteor as the first one, but...
Alright, and Thomas.
So I'm going to be casting a spell. It is AoE. Can I target it to sort of hit the back half of it so it won't hit me or Erwin?
Yes, I will allow this.
So otherwise, I will blow myself up and probably kill myself.
Please try not to do that.
It's going to happen regardless.
But yeah, roll it. Do what you gotta do.
Sort of.
Inflicts 2 more ablaze conditions.
Well, 3 because I can choose to add another one as I'm a bright wizard.
Ah, yeah, fair. Damage plus, so it's straight up just 10 damage, yeah?
It's a magic missile plus 10, so it's success level plus willpower plus 10, which means it's 20.
Okay. Alright.
It's also double prone.
Extra prone.
Well, I'm gonna say it now. It only had 8 hit points left by the time you came along.
Doesn't matter.
Guess
Killing it with fire, making sure there's nothing left.
Yeah.
Going through the criticals, it will die.
Yeah, exactly.
Did it have attack damage from the ablaze condition?
It
did,
took
yeah.
1.
No, it took 4 from the ablaze condition.
Isn't it reduced?
It's reduced by armor and toughness.
Oh, it is? Okay, then yeah, it would have taken.
Wait,
even so.
I assume so. I mean,
it says it's reduced in the book.
No, I was talking about there's nothing that specifically says the fires from the ablaze condition being caused by twin-tailed comet would carry forward. It's ignoring all protections effect.
Yeah. The point is though that even with those 3 hit points back, it was still well and truly murdered to fucking death.
Well, burned. Burned.
So yes, the troll, prone on the ground with its leg off, is blazing bright on fire already. When Thomas is just like, and just sets it ablaze again, and the flames reach nearly to the base of the bridge. It's probably for the best that this is not an area that there are any slums in, because it's burning high and it's burning hot, and it stinks.
And it's going to carry on burning for about 30 more seconds.
But yeah, with a final wailing scream and a howl of anguish and rage, the Teufel Terror, this creature that's been stalking the riverbanks of the Teufel River successfully for months now, expires in a burning heap on the ground.
Indeed. And we no longer have any evidence we did anything.
Look at the bones.
Great.
Well, that's this pile of bones here.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, even though the creature is burning, given the size of it, even with magic fire, it's not going to burn to complete ash in the 30 seconds that it's on fire for.
I'm being somewhat sarcastic. I'm aware that even
Yes.
if we assume that it burned completely to ashes, the bones are not really great proof, because you don't want to just go say like we show people a list of bones with no other ancillary evidence. We've got scratch marks. I'm sure we've got stool and things like that in the area. If a troll's been living here, there will be ample evidence that a troll's been living here.
Once again,
Break through
look
the
at the
bones for valuables.
All right. Well, we solved the mystery. We don't have any good news to bring back to the kid and the family. So
we avenged him.
Indeed.
That's dead, but we got the killer.
You could take samples off it once the fire's gone out, Crystal. Yes.
Woohoo! Samples. More experiments.
Lorelei, thankfully the water here is not as thankfully the water here is not the same as the water in the sewers, in that it's not rushing quite strongly. You're in kind of like a little lee between piles of rubbish, the stanchion, and some rocks, so you can pretty much just tread water until you can get yourself and the dog out again. But you are going to have to roll something for me.
Poop check.
Yeah.
Disease.
I'll look very disapprovingly at Ermina taking samples from such a vile creature.
You have to learn how to counter him.
Is there much left to sample apart from cracked bones?
Oh yeah, there's still flesh and skin and things like that.
Troll fat, some muscle, blood.
You don't need to understand the enemy to hate them and have faith they can be defeated.
Well, some of us aren't gifted enough to be ordained by Sigmar to summon giant meteors from the sky out of nowhere and cannot cast giant magical things like a wizard.
Your insufficient faith in the protector of humanity is no one's error but your own.
Ermina is going to... Ermina's making a mental note of this because Aldemore's going to have a nice trip coming up.
Neat.
Because
all right, we do in fact need to do that. Thanks for volunteering, Deb.
I don't think he's back yet.
Oh.
But
no, we don't think Andy's back yet. I'm pretty sure Zeb heard you say that.
Yeah, but yeah.
I'll get him to roll his toughness test in a bit. But yeah, as you're standing there looking at the corpse of the troll, and watching Amina take her samples and do what she needs to do to take care of everything, a familiar voice is going to call out from behind you. Well, I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't just seen it.
Another troll.
Nope, Sergeant Rudy.
Oh.
He saw us kill a troll. And by us, you guys, because I did nothing.
He's a different kind of troll.
You were there and you helped.
Timo, your furious typing is very loud. Thank you.
What the devil are you doing here, Sarge?
Well, there was reports started coming out of some watchmen who were fussing around down in the in the place that we are.
Bridge, the docks.
No. Oh my god! In the Dunkelfeucht.
That was it.
That's it. And I hadn't recalled sending any patrols down here. Nobody else had said they had a patrol down in this area. We had no reports of any crimes from down here, or at least nothing that mattered. And then, so I thought, who would that be? And I realized my star watchman hadn't checked back in this morning. So old Rudy came down and had a bit of a sniff around.
Apologies, Sarge. We got a report from a citizen about some dangerous happenings occurring in the Dunkelfleut. It seemed like it was at least reliable enough to warrant a look, so we decided on our own recognizance to check it out, see if it was anything worth worrying about. Turned out to be a bit more than we were expecting.
A river troll? What led you to this? Surely it wasn't just some missing scrap heapers from under the bridge.
Actually, yes.
You see, Rudy, I'm actually good at your job.
The scrap heapers are what incited the interest, it seemed, but what incited the initial inquiry. But what tipped us off that something particularly sinister and dangerous might be going on was when we connected the disappearance of a ship captain from his own ship in the middle of the night in the same area to him, to the rest of the disappearances.
Which captain's this?
Pegasus.
Pegasus, yes.
Yes.
I can't recall the name. It was the captain of the Pegasus.
Didn't know the name.
I know. I'm aware we never got the name. I'm not going to tell Rudy we didn't get that.
He's going to pull out a little notebook that you've seen him sort of write things down in before and reference a couple of notes in there, and he's going to go, figured that one had fallen foul of the Lowhavens. Well, aren't you all just filled with civic pride and duty?
Lust and murder.
Indeed.
I feel like I'm more full of ash particles. I've been breathing in for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, looks like there are a few disappearances down off the bridge that we might be able to mark off here. Well done. You've earned yourselves a night off.
Thanks.
Is that the going rate in the Uber's Right Watch? One troll for one day off?
I'm sorry there, lad. You were expecting a bonus scheme?
Well, a drink would be nice.
No, Sarge.
A drink. I could see you order a drink. Old Rudy will happily spend a few coins to make sure that the troll slayers of the Teufel are feeling appreciated.
I wanna roll intuition. Did he really come looking for us, or was this something else?
Roll intuition.
So far, he hasn't really displayed this much interest in any of our doings.
Yeah, no, I've got a secret suspicion that Rudy is in with the cult. But...
There's all your successes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's lying through his teeth.
Right.
How could you do this to us? How could you do it to us, Rudy?
I'm back. What happened?
Rudy showed up.
All right, he's standing outside the bridge. I could drop a meteor on him.
Okay, you have no proof he's involved with the cult. You just, Amina and Erwin just know that he didn't come down here because he was looking for you all.
He's here for something else. And he wrote something into his notebook.
No, he
of
referenced
some-
something. He had a look at something in his notebook.
See, I would like to know.
I
what's
know
in
it
his
too.
notebook.
I know a lot. I got a crit. It's like the only time, because I think it concerns chaos, that Aldemar is paying attention.
What does his crit tell him?
His crit tells him that, yeah, Rudy wasn't here looking for you guys. But that. Oh, I'm trying to think of what that's gonna tell him, just from the fact that he said he was out here looking for you.
Anything on his previous behavior that could that Maldemar might have caught on?
The thing is, he said he was nosing around in the slums.
Yeah. Yeah, you get Aldemar's gonna get the impression that the nosing around in the slums part was true. But the looking for you specifically was not. And sort of hearing / seeing, because yeah, you guys put on a pretty impressive fireworks show over here. So he was already sort of nosing around and then heading out this way, and then obviously has seen the explosion and then gone, aha.
Because he crossed the bridge pretty damn quick. Because the combat lasted 6
I don't really
seconds.
do subtle.
That combat literally, 12 seconds. The combat lasted 12 seconds. And then 30 seconds later.
Who reported our activity? Who reported our activities in the Dunkelfeuer?
Oh, just it's been the talk of the town. Well, the talk of the slums that there's been some watchmen around. And watchmen don't usually come to the Dunkelfeuer.
Did they meant? Oh, con. They talking about that incident we got into over at the food markets?
Yeah. Yeah, they said there was a bit of hassle in the food markets.
You know it, Sarge. Was pretty wild, right? I imagine that they were all talking about when we got cornered by a bunch of low havens. Barely talked our way out of that one.
Never heard anything about no low havens, lad, but I saw some tables kicked over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the bones of a river troll. That's gonna be an impressive trophy for someone. I'll go let the captain know what's happened here, and then come find Rudy. I'll get you that drink.
Sounds
good, Sarge.
Are you gonna take a whole troll skeleton with you, Amina?
No, a few of the bones.
I imagine you're just grabbing the carcass and going, trying to pull the whole thing.
Hey, brother, help me get this on the cart.
Get this with. I mean,
but yes, he's going to sort of give you specifically a very kind of calculating look there, Aldemar, and then he's going to leave to presumably go and report this to the captain, as he said.
Very convenient timing.
Very convenient timing.
I trust I don't need to explain to the rest of you. Audited. oddity of that whole affair.
He always seems to be able to show up at very appropriate times.
And we didn't get into any encounters in any food markets.
Indeed.
He's clever enough not to fall for the Lowhaven gambit, but line.
About something, yes. I wonder what's in that book.
What I was looking to confirm was, well, as I did, he didn't hear any reports about our presence. He was here for some other reason.
Why would he be down in the slums?
What would lead him over here to the east side?
That, Wynn and Goodwoman Bauer, very good question.
Wynn's going to look up along the banks of the river, and the area that you're in on this side of the river, the markets are on the west side. The area that's over here is, a lot of it is just, once you get beyond the damaged area that the riverbanks overflowed in the storm, is just where people live. So you've got your usual conglomeration of houses, a few of the smaller shops, like, you sort of shops that are run out of the front room of someone's house. There's one of the city sawbones is over here, and there's a few inns and things like that, but there's nothing of particular note.
Know about.
Something we need to keep in mind. I'm not sure yet exactly how I want to approach this and how tactful we be. There are questions beyond answering.
Questions that demand answers after we rest. Because Armita's gonna kind of she's gonna be thinking, we've been up for probably close to 24 hours at this point.
Yep. It's, well, it was dark by the time you got over here and started fighting the troll, so it's probably, I'll say, mid-evening, early, sort of mid to late evening.
So almost 24 hours, so almost a full day of being up. No sleep.
Pretty much.
Righteousness does not rest. I may have to, though.
Righteousness does not rest. The human body, though, does require rest.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Do you not need rest, Thomas?
I try not to.
Can wizards do that?
No.
Ermina's gonna shrug and go, I don't know.
Do not devote too much curiosity to the ways of wizards, Wen.
Okay.
Yeah, you had to end up on a pike outside the city.
Whatever else they may do, their studies, their ways, and their nature is dangerous at best and unnatural always.
Yes, Aldemar. So you'll finish up there with Ermina taking her samples from the troll. And
Yay!
as mentioned so magnanimously by Sergeant Rudy, you have been granted the rest of the night off, given that you have just dispatched a troll that was living in the middle of the city. Gesundheit.
Sorry.
That's okay. And yes, you are free to go and tidy up and get something to eat and actually sleep at night for once.
Sweet.
You weren't told that you had to report for duty in the morning, so presumably you'll get to sleep for the rest of the night and through the next day until your next shift the next evening.
Not going to sleep at night will ruin sleep schedule.
So XP?
Indeed, I was just going to get to that. And because you did very well with you did quite well with finding the people and rooting out the troll and then just nuking it into the ground, even though I'd given it even more hit points than the adventure called for.
Yeah, the adventures always wildly underestimate how well a
They
party
really
will.
do.
Especially when we played smart.
That is true.
The other thing, like honestly, the only thing that slows down was I assumed it was connected to everything else. It wasn't a one-off.
Mm-hmm.
So.
We can't do skill checks outside of combat for the shit, but when it comes to combat, we can actually do that for some reason.
Yay! But yes, you can have 200 XP for this one.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure if I hadn't crit on my channeling, this would have been another combat where I wouldn't have actually done anything.
Unless you exploded.
Like I said, if I hadn't crit on my channeling.
Yeah.
I need
That
a. Here in I guess throughout the week, I'll get exactly what I harvested from a troll from you.
That was a lot of fun, everyone. I'm looking forward
Glad you
to
enjoyed it.
tomorrow and our next session, but I need to be going.
I do apologize for the interruptions.
You can't help what your body does.
Yeah.
I've been
Tomorrow we shall
sick
figure
all
out-
week,
okay.
so I understand.
As I said though, I have been fine all day, and it was literally 15 minutes before the session started that my stomach just went, "Hey, fuck you!" So I don't know what the shit happened there, but anyway.
Well, all the shit happened.